Hello, it's commentary time, and it's Dalton. Sorry, just getting a little bit excited there. Yes, it's me. I'm Chris Byrne, and I am. I should say this is the commentary track for "Do You Expect Us to Talk?" And we're doing one of our favourites, "Stylistic to Kill." I think we all agree, don't we?
I think we all do now.
Yeah, I think everyone. I think it's pretty firmly. I've got a strong suspicion it'll be a top 5 for all 3 of us. I think. And
I'm
how
not sure
rude,
about Becca, but I know Becca's like.
I'm getting there.
And how rude I am! I've started talking to these fine people, and I'm not even introduced them. It's our regular host, Rebecca Andrews.
Hello.
And our comedy smut maker and fax man.
The fun facts come from Becca.
Yeah, I do the fun facts.
I do the miserable facts.
Yeah, you bring the hard hitting critical facts and the dick and cum jokes.
Sober analysis.
Yes. Yeah. So our commentary is going to be the probably one of the finest movies ever committed to selling.
By the way, I've called Dave Bond because he got completely fucking sidelined then.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, Dave Bond.
I'm so excited, forgot to mention his name.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. You're like, infamous now in the Bond community. So yeah, we are going to be basically watching License to Kill and talking over it.
We'll try to talk when we can because it's very good movie. Might get engrossed.
I can't make any promises, but I'm more like just going to start watching it. I'm going to do my best for the start of it, and I'm going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, Dalton, yeah, looking great.
We've got to ask him lots of questions, Becca, as we go along.
Yeah, Chris, yeah.
Make the list, Chris.
Yeah. Basically, what it's going to be like. It's basic, yeah. So yeah.
I don't have any fun facts, but I had some fun facts for the last time, so just listen to those.
Yeah, listen to those again. We enjoy.
Well, that doesn't sound very fun, does it?
Well, that's not what commentaries are about. The reviews are about sober analysis. This is more about.
Yeah, I think the chances are we're going to end up talking about like other stuff. We'll probably talk about like sort of US politics or something like midway through.
Well, if we come to a scene that we really like or think's really interesting, we can kind of mention a few points. Or I think I love this scene because, or I hate this scene because.
Yeah. I know. What I actually kind of really like is you kind of refresh yourself. It's like, oh shit, yeah, I remember that, but why didn't I say that in the podcast? So you kind of bring it up in the commentary. So
things you might not have known before.
Exactly, and plus it's nice to have something you can just pop on and you can.
Have you noticed that plane? Have you noticed on the credit sequence that plane looks like Nemo?
Oh yeah, it does a little bit with orange and white. Yeah. There we are. Something you never knew before.
That's a fun, folks.
That's a fun fact.
Number 1.
I've never noticed it. What? The helicopter?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'd never noticed it before either. I was just looking at it and I kept seeing like
Nemo.
Yeah.
We're doing a Disney retrospective.
You know what really gives it away? It's the dodgy fin.
It's one side of it's not as long as the other.
Yeah.
And it's completely lost.
Looking for its dad.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, before Chris sets us off, get ready to get wanked off or fingered.
So yeah, basically we're watching the Blu-ray for those, and we are on initiate mission. So at a count of 3, I will initiate the mission. So this week, are you ready, guys?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are.
All right. Okay. Are you ready? 1, 2, and 3. There we are. We're starting.
Whoa.
Now it's kind of. I mean, I've got it on mute, and I think one of my favourite parts of this film is actually the score. I think we sort of mentioned that a bit about On Her Majesty's as well. So it's
that's the trouble with commentaries, isn't it? You end up muting something. One of the best things about one of the films you're covering. I like the gun barrel because I can hear that in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very stylish.
Yeah, and there he comes out naked. Chris, what are you doing to that camera, Tim? Oh my God, blood dripping down from his cock.
He means business. He's legal.
It's still one of my favourite. I think Tim's my favourite gun barrel. And maybe it's just me being biased, but he just for me just delivers it best. I don't know.
I just think you're in a very awkward position because you're totally in love with Tim, but you got something going with Robert Darby on the side, and they are mortal enemies now. And I just wonder how you square that circle.
It's It's hard. That's all I can say.
Yes, we thought it might be.
It's a difficult balancing act.
And we missed the Michael G. Wilson's cameo there.
Yeah,
We'll get the
voiceover.
I've never noticed it. Where is it? Have we just missed it? Have we?
Yeah, it's
One of my favourite
literally
Bond
right at the
films.
beginning. It's
Yeah, it doesn't actually physically appear, but it's his voice you can hear on
Yeah,
the
which is
voiceover
probably-
over that
I
sequence.
love this. I really love this.
Don't forget the ring.
this looks great, by the way. Like actually,
It looks great on Blu-ray, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, it really does.
Subtitle option. Right.
so you can imagine like sort of back in '89, this would have been a little bit jarring for after being used to kind of Roger Moore, and now you're sort of getting this kind of drug cartel, like vengeance.
It's not a
play.
very typical Bond film, is
Yeah,
it?
it's like fuck me. This has changed your pace, change your direction.
Yeah.
Also, this is like, Daniel Craig after years of Pierce Brosnan, isn't it? It's a completely changed of direction. It's very gritty, very real, and you kind of got this. I mean, the drug baron plot was kind of going on at the time in the real world as well.
I
So.
tend to think, though, that Becca, if this had followed, like, not literally, but if it had followed something as successful as Skyfall, then maybe. But it followed The Living Daylights, which was a popular film,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a mind-blowingly popular film. I don't think people were particularly sold on Dalton yet.
No.
And then they've gone really off-piste with this
Yeah, this one
completely
came along
different film. And I don't think people what people made of this, to be honest.
No, it was so hard hitting. I mean, this could have been. Well, it was the first Bond to get a 15. 15?
Yes, no, you're right.
15
in this
yeah, 15
country.
rating. So
Yeah.
yeah, here in the UK anyway. So
I don't know if that means it was PG-13 or R-rated in the United States. I can't be bothered to look it up either. Maybe Mr. could tell us.
we'll research in Bunny Marks later on.
Yeah.
But
I've got a feeling it would have been an R. I would have
been
thought.
R-rated, yeah.
It could be. I mean, this is pretty hard.
It's quite a brutal scene, isn't it?
It is.
And it's implied that he takes the guy's heart out, isn't it? So you just think, oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
It is a good line though. Do you promise you his heart? Give her her heart.
give her the heart.
Yeah.
Bastard.
And yeah.
That's why I'm very careful not to promise a woman my penis. You don't want that to be overheard.
Just cross your legs.
And also you got the like Shades of Majesty as well with the wedding at the beginning. It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
Priscilla Barnes, I believe she was in like Dallas or Knots Landing or something like that. She was an American soap actress.
She was wasn't she in Three's Company or something? Or something like that.
I really don't know. I just know that she was quite well known on American TV. So she is a name to the very small American audience that went to see this.
She's in Mallrats, I know that.
Oh yeah, she was, isn't she? Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah, she's the fortune teller with the three.
The three nipples. Is that her, is it? Well, do you expect us to talk exclusive? We've all seen her tits.
Taking off the Scaramanga there with the
Yeah.
3 nipples.
Yeah, we've seen Scaramanga's tits as well, listeners.
I feel dirty now.
The three nipple trilogy.
There we go, slow-mo run.
That looks shit. I've never liked that at all.
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
Yeah, you can hear it, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
I
love the way David Hedison's miles behind because, he's old.
Oh,
Sanchez! Now,
Sedges!
now, how does that hat work? That hat was sat right in front of him. It should have gone right through and into his bollocks,
It didn't.
but it didn't.
I like his
The
screen
hat's
face where he's
hidden.
firing the machine gun. It's like with his teeth out. Like,
And have you noticed, and I've never noticed this before, the weather's all over the place, the amount of cloud cover?
Yeah, they obviously filmed in different days, but
Yeah,
didn't quite match
that's
together.
absolutely fine, but it's really noticeable.
Yeah,
Look, there you
it's
go, look. Blue skies
I
again.
mean, what can you do when you got like schedules? Like, oh.
Nice and sunny there.
To be
I'm proudly
fair,
there.
I've seen this film countless times and I've only just noticed it, so it's not a big deal. And the light levels are similar, so it's not that jarring.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, it's like I'm never that like. I suppose it's like these days you can kind of adjust it as well, can't you? But I'm never that hard even if I do notice it because obviously things happen in film and you can't really control that. So I get
exactly.
so I get kind of a bit defensive about films when people act pissy about things like that. It'd be like, oh god. Ugh.
There is literally a mistake in every film
I know.
every one of us
Yeah.
and every listener has ever seen.
And,
That is
and, you,
perfect.
and you know what that you see those programs which kind of like movie mistakes. And you kind of like it's the way they commentate on it as if like oh
They are
god
so self-satisfied, aren't they?
stupid
Really
movie
petty.
people.
I mean,
thinking, like,
genuinely. I mean, I don't mind that I pointed it out, but it wasn't like, look at this joke. I mean, behind him there's Sanchez on the plane there was Black Cloud.
Yeah.
So they've shot it all over the place, but I've seen this film at least a double-digit number of times. I've only just noticed, and it's not a big deal. It's just I've just noticed.
Yeah, it's like you think. Well,
It's
it's
not
a
a glaring
film.
error.
It's a film, isn't it? Sometimes I mean, if it's really noticeable, it means the film's probably not working. If you're engaged by the
And
plot.
it's not noticed. It's not noticeable, which tells you something.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go fishing.
Now, I always wondered, like, would this actually work? Like, helicopter actually pick it? I mean, I've always wondered about the physics about this.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
if you're at home with a helicopter and small
See-
light aircraft,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know if you actually strap the tail, would that, like, fuck up the entire aircraft, or would that be... Or would would it... Well,
I have absolutely no idea.
But I suppose that it does look like a very kind of small helicopter, and that I imagine that's quite...
Both of them seem very light crafts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they seem kind of equivalent. They might not be. They might be like tons apart in weight. But as you look at it on the screen as a layman, they don't look. It's not
No.
like it's not like little Nelly trying to fucking like snag a 747 or something.
No.
This is a cracking opening.
It's
Opening
epic,
scene,
isn't it?
I think,
Massive.
Yeah. I think it's. I mean, what I was saying about the music side, I really loved like the proper big James Bond music cue at this. It just sounds like it's modern.
Oh, it's got the sort of little drum lead in, hasn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like it's got the sort of guitars like which I really
Yeah,
like.
I love
Those
the Spanish
DEA
guitar.
agents, the one on the left, I can't see him without thinking he was in an episode of Police Squad.
No, this is
And
like,
he was in the episode where he's the world
Okay,
heavyweight.
well, what's
boxing
this like?
champion.
Felix got both hats, jumps off. How the hell does he pull the parachute off?
And she just-
I don't. Yeah. Well, he needs another hand.
Yeah.
He loses a hat somewhere. Did he put it in his
The other
pocket?
thing is, right, they land in the right place. I would just love to have seen them like land in front of a burger bar, and then it goes to credits as they go in for a double cheeseburger.
Oh.
But I love this. I really do. It's a bit cheesy, and they land with their hair perfect and ready to marry and everything else. But it's great.
It's a
Yeah.
Bond movie. What do you expect?
I expect mistakes, and I expect narrative holes and
Narrative
problems.
cohesion.
But I expect them to be minor enough. I give things passes to, but as with last time, Gustav Graves like 14 months for a knighthood. I can't let it pass
no.
because there's not a universe in which I can ignore that.
Well, it's just the whole idea.
No.
Well, like to go back to last week, it's just the whole idea of like, oh, what he had his own face changed for, like, because
what?
that was his initial plan, really, wasn't it? Like before he got fake.
Yeah.
Before he
And what was
supposedly
Zhao? What was Zhao's doing it for? Was it just he's quite handsome? I
Oh,
bet he
just 'cause
gets loads
just 'cause
of
he
women.
fancied
I'll
it.
have it done.
He had some money left over. He thought, well, I'll have a go as well.
This is a couple of things really. This is Maurice Binder's last title sequence.
and probably his best.
Well, in
Really.
fact, number
Move
one.
over to Daniel Kleinman, and it's also the last film that Albert Cubby Broccoli is producer on. He's a presenter by the time we get to Goldeneye, and he's dead by the time we get to Tomorrow Never Dies. So this is kind of the end of an era.
On my birthday.
When's your birthday, Becca?
Well, it was June 27th. I think it was the mid-90s.
Oh, that would have been
Cubby passed
96
away.
he died.
So yeah, 96. So yeah. Oh.
And Pedro Almendraz died about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
son
that's
of Kerry and Bay from.
So you've not been a fan of Maurice Binder work, really, have you? I mean, like, well, I haven't really, but
No, I don't think any of us have. I think it's really difficult to explain to people because, particularly when you do commentaries, you sat here like saying what you see. So if you're seeing something you don't like, you just go, "Well, this is crap, isn't it?"
yeah.
And I feel, and I mean this, I feel so disrespectful when I say it, because I totally understand that the Daniel Kleinman sequences we get now, and even the MK12 one on Quantum Solace, is directly influenced by what Maurice Binder did. So he
Oh,
is
there's
so
nipples there. Sorry,
important
just
to- you
literally.
can see boobs, yes.
Yeah, I can actually see your nipples.
Yes, you can on that.
So that's
but
why it's 15.
Yeah, that's why.
I think it's the exploding head, and I don't just mean me enjoying this. It's really so. I'm quite respectful of him without actually liking any of his work, and I think that's the best way to put it. I like the style and tone he set, but individually speaking, I watch them and just go, "Oh, I like this one," and it happens on virtually all of his films.
Well, it depends on personal taste, really, doesn't it? 'Cause, like, some I think are amazing, and some I think are a little bit like,
Which do you like, Becca, of his?
I appreciate all the work that goes into it. Some more than others.
Are there any you really like?
I have to kind of know. I quite like this one, apart from all the nipples. But
I know I was scandalised too.
no, I like this one quite a lot. I think Majesties, maybe. I don't know.
Spy.
Spy's a great one. Yeah, Spy's probably my favourite.
Spy is my favourite of his.
Yeah, of course, Majesties. I forget that. Yeah, that Majesties. That's my favourite.
It's not Sanchez.
I like the.
Sanchez. I can't do it.
And the guy, like a random guy of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. When we come to do our Lethal Weapon commentary, I'll be on the lookout for him.
He's in 1 and 2. I think he plays different characters.
Oh, does he? Oh, that's confusing.
Well, it's confusing that they're both cops as well, so you kind of like, but
But that guy there
he's not on both sides
like
of the
world heavyweight champion in Police Squad.
All right.
And it was he gets knocked out by like the protagonist in that episode, and the headline reads "Chump KO's Champ," and then the champ gives him a shot at his title, so it's then Champ OK's Chump.
Oh, that's clever.
Oh yeah. Just snogging Nini Marry Bride one.
Oh.
Yeah, but as you argued twice, very erudite, in a very erudite fashion, at least he didn't shag her.
Yeah.
No.
You said that about Roger Moore twice for your eyes only.
And then he was like 103 by that point.
He aged in such a haphazard fashion. Because he was 204 for Octopus, he was 157 when he got to... Now, this wig is shit.
Oh, yeah, it's quite obvious wig, isn't it?
It's really quite bad.
See, I'm really blind to things like that.
Well,
I mean, like, if you point it out, I'll probably go, oh, yeah, but, like,
I do
while
wonder
watching it, I'm just kind of like,
if
alright.
she'd not been in the rest of the film, if she was just an extra, effectively, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it. But obviously, we see her with short hair later. And so whenever you rewatch it, and there she is, it looks a bit...
Yeah, it's a bit fake. Then it was the 80s, so, big hair and all that.
Is this the last time Bond actually smokes a cigarette?
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't see him smoke anymore.
Well, we see him smoke a cigar in Die Another Day, but that was more like Cuba, everyone. Cuba.
Yeah.
Yes, the last time he smoked cigarettes.
Oh, and the world is not enough as well. Does he have a cigar in that one? I can't remember. No.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't swear to it. He is handed a cigar, which he goes,
he doesn't.
He goes to like stuff in Moneypenny's twat.
She throws it in the bin, so.
She does. I know exactly what to do with that.
In the bin.
Yeah, that's not what Monica Lewinsky did with hers.
God, can you imagine all that technology there?
Very sci-fi.
Do you mean on the screen, or do you mean Monica Lewinsky's twat?
No, I'm not on the screen, like, in Felix.
Because I don't imagine it's that high tech.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what we're talking.
Fishing on my wedding day. Oh, on
my honeymoon.
Sorry, yeah, I've got the line wrong, sorry.
Come on, read the subtitles.
Yeah, well, I was preempted. So there's the rather handsome Robert Darby.
He is very handsome. We need to get him on the show somehow.
Yeah, we can chat to him about politics, because he's quite enlightened.
Yes, he is. Anyway, moving on.
Well, yeah, he's got a lot of support Trump, so who knows?
Well, Trump might get in, you never know.
Yeah. You never know.
In which case, when that day comes, you are our overlord.
Anyway.
I don't know. It'll be interesting anyway. Well, it's funny. Who walks into a pool anyway? That's what I'm just gonna.
I don't know. Who does that? There's some dad dancing going on there. Really bad dad dancing.
Hey,
everyone's dancing
don't
really
knock
badly.
It, that's how I dance.
Everyone's dancing
it's
really
the
badly.
80s.
What I
Everyone's
love when you see dancing in films or TV shows is how enthusiastic it all is. Whereas if you actually watch people dance in real life, there's always some people who are really going for it and other people who are really self-conscious.
No, there's probably music going to be laid over and they're just dancing to nothing. So.
Listeners, look up the credits, look up the title sequence to the Young Doctors TV show. You'll see what I mean. The Australian show from the 70s. Fuck me, are they going for it when they dance?
I have to do that. That sounds fun.
But yeah, like what Becca says, like normally we have like sort of like nightclub scenes where people are dancing. It's like there is like nothing, and people have to like act as if they are like in a loud place. Well,
Yeah. And the music's always added on afterwards.
Yeah.
That's why he's got a lot of red paint on his face.
That was clearly on the butt of the gun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was, obviously.
That's such a 70s trick then.
If that had gone in backwards and taken half an hour, it would have been Inception, basically.
It would have done. Yeah, it's like 80s and...
Have you noticed a thing in trailers? Everyone does the Inception thing in trailers now.
Yeah. It's a bit annoying. I think
Yeah,
whoever
we've lost voiceover. All trailers have the words "this year" on the screen, but you never get "in a world."
The things
No,
are
just
like the original guy's died now, isn't he? So it's kind of
Yeah, the voiceover guy.
He's irreplaceable. So I think like, well, you can get someone else to do it, but you think, well, that's not the guy. So
Get Patrick Stewart to do everything.
Yeah, I think he needs to voice over everything ever.
He's seen everything.
Even reading the phone book. Come on, Sanchez, this way.
I'd rather have Christian Slater just to piss Steve off.
That'd be hilarious. Doing a Jack Nicholson impression.
In a world. We'll talk about him when we get to Star Trek 6.
His
Looking forward to
random cameo out of nowhere.
The undiscovered cunt. Trick.
Dave, you have.
I wish he'd never been discovered. Now, hang on. Now, this is an odd wedding. Firstly, she keeps the gifts down there.
She's giving them away.
And also, shouldn't they be getting the presents? It's just to give them this lighter, which is the only reason we probably saw them smoke, because it was already getting passé by then.
No, that's it. There's two traditions that in terms of weddings, it's like, I've never actually heard of. I'm like, oh. Very odd. Oh well.
Well.
Oh.
Bond's definitely already fucked up from a while ago. I mean, you can tell.
I'm so sure about this.
Well, it's just like, just want to read into it.
Do I do like a sparkly dress? I'm thinking about different things. Benicio.
Oh, she looks so scared. Shame.
Oh.
So does she get shot?
She does look a bit soap opera scared.
Oh.
What, she does?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
It's not so much that it's bad acting, it's just not that great.
Christoph Waltz takes a leaf out of Sanchez's book by not wearing socks.
Oh, I thought you meant by turning Chris on.
Oh.
And there he is. Admiral, whatever he's called from Star Trek Interaction. Dougherty.
It's only natural that we're doing,
The mayor of sort of what's that place in the Matrix?
Zion.
Zion.
Zion, that was it. Zion, yeah.
The King of Zion. There you are.
King Zion. Oh dear. Does this mean we have to do the Matrix movies now as well?
No.
Sincerely hope not.
See, most things you name, like, you just said Lethal Weapon, and for anyone listening, we've never chatted about that, but it's like, it's a fine one to throw out, and I don't mind. I'm quite happy to do that.
It's only 4 films, isn't it? So you sort of...
Yeah, but even then, it's like,
it's
whether I'm a fan or not, I don't mind doing them, and I haven't seen them for quite a while, but I was a little bit burned by those Matrix sequels, and I know it's fashionable to knock them, but they were really fucking dull and pretentious.
I haven't seen them for a long, long time.
I mean, it was kind of funny because obviously everyone liked the Matrix and I did, but I thought the only bit I didn't like was the bit where we saw Neo fly at the end, and I just thought we could have just left it there with like the panning sort of coming, seeing the city, just sort of like coming away from it. I could have just ended it there, but instead we have to see like him flying like Superman. I was like, oh.
Which is immediately not set up for sequels, really.
Which is just like, did we need that? I mean, like, I get it in theory, but it just looks stupid because he's and then the rest of the sequels were kind of basically like that, and it was just, disappointing. But you know, yeah, no, I'm not very keen on doing Matrix. I just don't think we've got much to talk about really.
No.
I mean, like, other than the fact, yeah, the first film's great, but
The other two are a bit afterthoughts.
well, I suppose there are interesting stuff in them, but
It's when you think. I think the problem is they really thought they were creating their own mythology, which is fine, but they invested it with all this weight that the story didn't really bear,
No.
and it ended up looking so pretentious.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, they basically kind of like forget the fact they were making a blockbuster. And it just kind of felt like too much like we've got to fit in all these sort of like key elements, these subtexts and these little things, but all we need to sort of have these big fight sequences, and it just didn't come together.
Robert Darby at the moment is, I don't know if it's at the moment, but he gets a lot of feedback from people thanking him for his work doing Sinatra songs.
Yeah, he does a lot of. Is it in Vegas? He's got a show.
I don't know. I don't know any details about it, and I've not heard any of it either. But Robert Darby basically is a crooner, and he sings Sinatra songs.
Yeah, he's quite famous for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I might check that out
Yeah,
sometime.
give it a listen.
Well, apart from this, what's your favourite Robert Darby work?
I've not seen him in much. I mean, the only other thing that springs to mind is Die Hard. Excuse me, listeners, for like any typing you're going to hear now, but I need to like look
Look him
his
up on
films.
IMDb.com.
Yeah.
I am, because I'm just going to have to remind myself whatever he's done.
IMDb.com, don't forget.
/
/.
In fact, if you look at his picture, he's quite clearly crooning there.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I've hardly seen him in anything because I haven't seen the Expendables films.
Well, he's only briefly in 3,
Right.
so
yeah.
you're not like missing out.
And then
Yeah,
it's just
I've never seen
little
them.
appearances here and
Oh,
there.
he's in the Goonies. How about that?
Yeah, he's one of the
know.
brothers in the bad guys.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh.
He was a voice in Vice City.
I'm gonna say something that's controversial. I think the Goonies is a bit underrated. Bit overrated.
Underrated.
It is underrated.
Underrated.
Overrated, yeah.
Oh, overrated.
I was going to say, I think the Goonies is
What?
utter shit.
Here you guys.
It's
I hate it. I can't stand it. But then when I was a kid, it was a crap film starring loads of kids. And to be honest, as a kid, I didn't care what fucking kids were up to.
No.
I'm actually looking through. He was in Son of the Pink Panther. That was Roberto Benigni's attempt
Yeah.
at film.
I think when it came to the
Wild
Goonies,
Orchid 2.
Hmm?
Predator 2.
Oh yeah, he's in Predator.
Die
He's the
Hard.
chief in that.
I've-
He plays the
I know
angry
him,
chief.
I know him from Die Hard.
He's in GTA. How about that?
I mean, we're looking at a busy working actor in stuff you've heard of, so I don't want to knock him, but we're not looking at dozens of like incredible films.
He's in Pretender. I used to love that show. Anyway,
Let me have a look.
let's look at his back catalogue. In the meantime, Della.
Yeah, oh
Felix
yeah.
has survived.
Pretty brutal, really. I mean, we had to talk over that scene, but that is. That
was quite a brutal scene.
I mean, this whole bit is brutal. It's just like, and I think I said on the podcast like that. I just love Tim's like reaction. It just feels like kind of real and very
Yeah.
kind of.
Might be one of the reasons I prefer it as well, because when you look at something like The Living Daylights and he stood in M's office agonizing over some order he's been given, that's jarring because we've just had a load of Roger Moore and that's not how James Bond tends
Yeah.
to behave.
Yeah.
Mm.
No.
Whereas this isn't his normal environment, so you just take it more for what it is.
But you kind of feel more the human impact of it here because it's, it's a friend and somebody he's worked with closely on a number of occasions. Chainsaw my ass.
I'm definitely glad it was a Felix we've seen before.
Yeah, definitely. If it was something like, I don't know, John Terry,
John Terry.
a nondescript, or it's like, a new actor, so we don't have that personal connection to. You don't recognise him, so if it was a new person, it wouldn't be as as weighty, I think, as it was.
Robert Darby's in Criminal. I didn't even notice him in that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd have to raid his back catalogue.
But he's uncredited, so it would have been like a really minor role. But yeah, no, I didn't know.
Or it would have been like the Fonz. He'd have just come through the door to a round of applause and waved.
Oh yeah, he was in Iceman. He had a good part in that.
I mean, he's had a good career. He has had a.
He's had a long career, hasn't he? Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was in an episode of the A-Team. Oh my god.
And I bet he elevated it.
Oh yeah, I used to be a bit of a fan of the A-Team. Anyway.
I didn't think that would have been in your lifetime, Becca.
No, as I discovered it a bit later.
He was in a film called The Bad Pack, which I instantly want to see because it's got him with a bandana. So
oh, wow.
I instantly want to watch that.
You must track it down.
Blind Justice. He was the bad guy in that.
Oh, okay.
About a western.
We are skewing into the Action Junkies podcast territory here, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah, we are.
You're doing a crossover.
Let me get Jade on. She loves this film as well.
I could do that.
Just while we're at it, Chris, we've mentioned the Cinematronics podcast before because we've appeared on it and stuff like that. Action Junkies podcast you haven't actually mentioned.
Yes.
That is another podcast you do occasionally.
Yeah, it's just because it's kind of on hiatus at the moment, just because none of us have got the time really at the moment. So, but it's not something that we've kind of gone screw it, we're not ever doing it again. But we do intend to kind of like bring it back to. We'll figure something out, but we will bring it back in some way, so whether it be like once a month or something. So
Action Junkies will return.
Yes. So possibly in like the next month or so, I might see a new episode even.
Oh, exciting!
Yeah, well, exclusive here, folks. So we'll see.
You heard it here first.
I'm obviously some more Cinematronics as well once in the summer, hopefully. So.
You'll be a busy boy.
Yeah, now I can kind of now I won't actually have like things like college and coursework I have to finish. I can actually just do my job, and then any time I've got is mine. So I can just go, yay! See all the films and talk about
watch all the movies.
Yeah. Oh, fake shark.
Oh dear. No, it's shark.
That shark did look absolutely fake as fuck, didn't it?
Did it really fake shark? It was quite obviously a fake shark.
God, imagine. I mean, surely a film can't be any good that has a shark in it that doesn't look real.
Yeah, I know.
Can you think of a single example?
Those fish are all really real.
I can't think of a single film that features a
No.
shark. That
doesn't spring to mind.
No.
Never.
It should at least work all the time, as well.
Yeah.
100% all the time.
I mean, there's no way a quality director would get involved.
No.
No, never.
It's just starting out or something, obviously, if he did, it would have been, career suicide, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, we'd never have heard from that guy again.
No.
Starring Edward Snowden.
Oh, it's disgusting. Oh.
It just looks like pasta.
I was going to say, from the wide shot, it just looked like...
But they're all moving.
It's not really. Just
they're
like,
not.
They're vibrating.
But it looks disgusting.
There's vibrators in there.
Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
They don't look like maggots at all.
So creepy crawlies. I like how you got the shadows of the sharks in the background.
He's wet behind the ears. Like, security guy.
This guy's an idiot. He really is an idiot.
He's proper like...
He doesn't even know what a shark is.
He's probably never... That's the first time he's probably held a gun before. He's like, yeah.
Worst security guard ever.
Americans eat their breakfast with guns.
Oh.
They don't use spoons. I might be making that
In
up.
you go. In you go. You're gonna numbed alive. Bon appetit.
That's it. Knocked out. That's a bit of a Bond trope, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knocked out in
As soon
one
as you
shot.
touch them, they're out.
Well, that's interesting how I've got
Judo
obviously got
chop.
subtitles on. Also eating it. Judo chop. But instead of bon appetit, it said speaking French. I was like, oh, I'd like to know what they say.
Yeah, it means good
They
appetite.
probably said "Jotactor."
But it was obviously bon appetit.
you mean in like... I think, I don't know, just would have just not said anything. I think, well, it wouldn't have been translated. They would have just like, oh, he's speaking French.
No. But you have, well, I don't know. Bon appetit in English as well? I don't know.
Yes, but that would be bon appetite.
But yeah. Oh well. Anyway.
But then,
Moving on.
you know, you're not the linguist I am.
Don't make me say it.
A cunning linguist. You have no idea.
Don't say it. Right on the wall. Anyway. Oh. Gotcha.
They are like the dumbest
Gotcha.
security guards in the world.
Yeah, worst security guards ever.
Though Roger
and-
Moore's
and-
James Bond would struggle with that.
I'm
'cause,
not-
you know,
I'm
he
not
did get
real-
knocked out by a fishing rod.
I'm not really equal fates. I mean, that guy got electrocuted by eels. The other guy just basically got put in a thing full of maggots. It's hardly like a...
He'll probably suffocate or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's not
So do you
quite
think Bond should be going around doing like moderation now? Like,
moderation.
he gives the one he really pissed off like a pizza or as an apology, or he goes to the one he didn't do too much to and like stabs him in his testicles.
Oh god.
I get a bit of a Jack Lord air off that guy.
Which, Everett McGill?
Killifer.
Him, yeah.
Oh,
Everett
yeah, I
McGill,
see what you
Killifer.
mean. Like, yeah.
Well, not Timothy Dalton or the black fella.
No. Or Sharky, no. Yeah, he's got that kind of look about him, hasn't he? So
Yeah.
Keep it,
but no,
buddy.
you earned it, you keep it. Oh buddy. That's brilliant. But
And
yeah,
he
you
looks
you
great
deserve
at
that.
Dalton.
Mm.
He's so vital in this film. He's so, you know, you think that he's
Look
going
at
to
that.
kill somebody, and obviously he does.
It's that look he gives
Yeah.
Sharky was like, what a waste. He's like,
But it's
Of
not
money.
exaggerated. It's
Yeah.
not.
it's like,
It's
yeah,
not hammy at all.
No. He means business.
Rocket a cardigan.
Was it a blazer?
Well, it's like a
I'm
light
not sure
jacket,
if it is
actually, isn't it?
cardigan.
Light jacket.
No, it's not a cardigan. Bond
Imagine
has
Tim
rocked
wearing
a
a cardigan.
No. He'd rock it.
He would.
Yeah.
He would.
In fact, has he not worn a cardigan? I'm pretty, you know, feels like he
Daniel
might have
Craig did.
Oh, yeah.
He was stylish.
There was another one as well, I forget now. Oh, Lazenby wore a cardigan.
Oh yeah, Lazenby. Good old lads.
And War
Don't you?
Gilet.
Something about this setting, I do expect Rowan Atkinson to come running across.
Mr. Bond, Mr. Bond. No, so I'm so glad he's not in this. Well, the Nigel Smallforce character isn't in this film. Jesus. You got ours in this country too, you know.
Can you imagine bring them back for Craig?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, but like Quantum of Solace.
You know,
Yeah, that I can see.
I was watching Penny Dreadful before, and I realised they had like 3 Bond connections. You got like obviously got Bond, Dalton,
Eva
got-
Green.
yeah, Best Blade,
Who's the
and
one?
Roy Kinnear, current Tanner.
Oh yeah.
Rory
Tanner,
Kinnear, isn't
yeah.
it? I don't watch it. I'm aware of
Yeah.
it.
I watched the first series, season, but I haven't seen any of the second season. So
Yeah, I mean to be honest, I watched the first season. I was like, yeah, but a lot of people like it.
I mean,
so...
to be fair, it's got to be quite unimpressive because I really like Eva Green. As an actress, I mean, as well as like
Yeah.
I'm attracted to her. This makes me laugh though. There are too
Country
many
Club 007.
people. Look at that sprawling metropolis they're in the middle of there.
it
God,
enclosed.
you can't hear yourself think for all the commuters.
no.
Well, the thing is that we know it's an enclosed environment as well, so it's just.
Yeah, it's meant to be private, isn't it?
It's
But-
just not been thought through. That's all.
Well,
You know, I love this film, so it's not that big a deal. But I know that some people don't.
get on with it.
Yeah, I basically I think if you don't like the film, this is another thing to sort of knock it with.
Yeah, but things are when you already don't like something, you just like
You look-
we like it despite. I mean, look, every film's got slight faults anyway, so you know.
Professionally.
If you don't like something, then it just like exaggerates it, doesn't it? But
Not the Country Club 007.
But it is annoying because literally you just edit out that people line or whatever it is that he
Yeah.
said. You just like you just have
Not hard to get around, is
Yeah,
it?
you just say just have M say don't shoot, and you can kind of like well the audience can can kind of like come to a conclusion why he says because he.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
I prefer that because it's ambiguous. Oh, is it
Leaves it
loyalty to Bond? Is it like that's an overreaction to kill one of your own
Yeah.
agents?
Or it's like, oh, yeah, is it kind of you know, I like Bond, or is it kind of like, all right, Bond, off the books, but kind of like, you know, too many people here.
Too many people. And that sniper's rubbish. Gotta help you, Commander. Meanwhile.
Nice set of pink pants there.
It's the 80s, everyone wore pastels.
Do you know most of it's shirts, not sweaters, but there's something very Cosby about what a lot of them are wearing.
Cosby. Oh dear.
Offering people coffees and what.
I was going to say, when I say it with what they're wearing, I don't mean like ambitious young actresses.
Put the pudding in the pudding pop.
Oh dear.
The worst thing about Cosby is how Mr. fucking Family Values he was. I mean, if you go and watch Eddie Murphy's Raw, I think it is.
Yeah.
He does this whole long sequence about Cosby calling him up to go on about his language.
Mm.
He was all about black men representing themselves the right way. And all the time, he's talking to people who basically his biggest crime is swearing, and he's fucking raping young actresses.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all coming out now, isn't it? So.
Wow. Good choice of words there, Becca.
Well, sorry, but I didn't mean it like that, but you know. Like it's the same with like Rolf Harris and that sort of thing as well. It's like, well, it's a, you know, sort of children's entertainer.
Girls, look at my wobble.
And I was just like, oh god. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
I just think it's a dreadful shame because, particularly in the country from which Cosby's from, there's enough racists there that the cause has just been set back years. Whereas actually the Cosby Show was quite a positive.
Yeah.
It was. It's quite sort of groundbreaking as well in many respects.
Well, yeah, because they were middle class.
Exactly.
And it seems such a minor thing now, but that's a big
were
thing
they
at the
middle
time.
class? I mean, he was a doctor.
He was a doctor and she was a lawyer or something.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't
Yeah, very
say
middle class.
they lived in like a really nice house in a.
They had
city,
like
so-
a Brooklyn townhouse or something.
Which-
They were relatively affluent. No, they weren't rich. They were
weren't rich,
working
but
but they were comfortable.
They're doing well.
And they were educated, and their kids were well behaved and stuff.
Basically, they were, you know, they could.
Sorry, just cut out of there.
I'll see. And without him, I had Dr. Hibbert in The Simpsons.
Sorry, just cut out of there, Becca.
Oh, hello. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry. Never fear, folks. It's commentaries. We just roll on. Sorry, what are you saying? Something about The Simpsons. Was it the Doctor that were based on?
Yeah. Without him, we wouldn't have had Dr. Hibbert in The
Yeah,
Simpsons.
Hibbert was based on him, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he still wears the multicoloured jumpers.
Yeah.
It is a shame, the whole Cosby thing, but, you know.
It's one man's
It's-
failings. It
as-
doesn't
yeah.
invalidate the show or what it was trying to do. The problem is now that I mean I'm pretty good on a personal level from separating the man from the art. In that, and I don't disrespect anyone who feels different to what I'm about to say, by the way. But I don't have any problem watching Woody Allen or Roman Polanski films.
Yeah.
But I know some people do. Forget what you think of the artist, but on principle. And I'd be the same with the Cosby Show now. If it appeared on Netflix, I'd happily sling it on. I'm quite good at separating that. I understand people who aren't, but it's all killed a very groundbreaking show. And I just think it's a shame because I'm sure they're all very comfortable, but there's a range of actors and actresses on these shows now. All their residuals have disappeared and all the rest of it.
Yeah. I think sometimes you have to separate it, though, don't you?
Just walked in, just casually holding a machine gun. Just go.
La la la.
He's a fashion model. Sorry, go on, carry on. Just what I point out.
No, that's okay. We weren't really talking about the film anyway.
That probably was his modelling debut. Modelling the AK-47. That always looks really weird to me. It just There he is. It's like henchman number 2. Not impressed.
Milton Crow, a reference to a Bond
I
short.
don't. Yes, it is.
Yeah, just Dalton's such a badass. Can you ever
We
see any...
still haven't really
is.
got to the meat of this, have we?
No.
No, this is all kind of laying the
It's
groundwork.
really quite intricate for a straight up revenge film.
Well, the thing is, though, it's like... It
You don't-
starts off that way, because he does essentially go to kill him, but then he gets caught, and he goes, right, oh, okay, well, I need to kind of... So his plan is kind of made up on the spot.
Mm.
Which is kind of an interesting thing, which I like, because it just feels like it feels like something that just happens naturally. It's not just because like, oh, it has an idea and then it just repeats it.
No,
Or,
it feels
you know,
organic, doesn't it,
yeah,
rather than contrived?
exactly, yeah.
Nope.
Perfectly cast Milton Crest because he really does come off quite slimy.
He's
Yeah.
quite creepy in this, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at him, you just think, arsehole.
Yeah.
No offense to the actor, I'm sure he's lovely.
That whipping is horrible.
Yeah, ooh. Winced.
And what I like, I mean, she's not a great actress. She's not a particularly memorable one in the
she's
series for me. But she's kind of like vulnerable and tough at the same
at her
time.
eyes,
There is
man.
kind of a hardness on her face, but at the same time, she's a complete victim.
Yeah, she can do both. She can do both roles, can't she? I think.
Yeah, I think she does pretty well. Not a seasoned. I mean, she's a model. You know that's how she ended up getting cast. So
What did she end up being in again? Like later on, did she end up being in other stuff?
I remember coming home from seeing a friend in like the Isle of Man in about '92, and I got home from like the station or something, and I came in to chat to like my mum, and on the telly was a really graphic sex scene with her in, and I didn't know where to look, and that's the only time I've ever seen her apart from in this. But just to confirm to the listeners, yes, they were fine.
Thanks for clearing us up.
It was all good. Let's find out here which she's from.
Don't be so sure.
Yeah, we haven't even got to a proper introduction of Pam Bouvier yet, have we?
We haven't.
No.
No, we've just seen her in passing.
Coming up soon.
It is quite an intricate film. What are we, about 50 minutes into
Yeah.
this now? I haven't looked.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
the actress is about nearly 50 and she still looks great. Yeah, she was in Mortal Kombat.
What, Talisa Soto?
Yeah,
Where are you looking, IMDb?
yeah.
Is there a picture of her now? Okay.
Mortal Kombat. Oh my god.
Yeah, she's in both Mortal Kombat films. And uncredited a role in Elysium.
Forgotten about that.
Oh, yeah. No,
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch that again. I didn't rate that film too highly. Probably.
Spy
It's one of
Hard
those
with
things I
Leslie
think I'm like,
Nielsen as well.
oh, legend. So there's another Spy Hard connection there.
You know what?
It's all about 6 degrees of separation, isn't it? With these.
Still, it's only 25 credits. Elysium is 3 years old. Her last credit
No.
before that was 4 years before. The last one before that, 7 years before. She hasn't actually been that active.
I think she
may have a family,
She
so.
married I think it might be Benjamin Pratt. I think.
Oh, right.
I
Okay.
think so. Although someone like kind of semi-famous.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll start watching the film now rather than looking at IMDb.
Yeah, Benjamin Bratt's on there. Yeah.
So, would you say like the underwater stuff action here is handled like better than it is in Thunderball?
I think it's just, personally for me, I just think it's a trope I like to see Bonds do. because it's just integral to the series, and with Fleming being a big fan of the Bahamas and Kevin McClory and all the rest of it at the outset of this film series.
Like as much as
But
like snow and like when you're on
yeah,
skiing.
it's just it's on the tick list for me. If they don't do it, fine, but I like to see it. But I have to say, I'm never particularly that interested in it as it's happening.
Mm.
What do you think, Becca?
I think I do like the underwater photography in Thunderball, but I think it goes on for a bit too long. That's my only problem. And you've got a lot of it that's sped up as well, so they kind of the fast forwarded photography.
Right.
But I think here it's very different. You don't see a lot of it. I don't think you see enough of it really. Sort of
And it's a
comparison, I
nice
guess.
little action scene because you kind of know like what.
Yeah, you know what's going on,
Yeah,
don't you?
you feel like what he's actually doing, and it's like how he's just destroying.
And it has a consequence to it,
Yeah.
and it is.
I think sort of diving type scenes more than most of these things play better on the big screen when you're really concentrating and there's no distractions.
Definitely.
Otherwise, it all kind of looks the same. And you see the odd harpoon in the odd sequence like that where there's a bit of a wrestle going on. And you can look up every 2 or 3 minutes, and quite often it's still going on.
Is it just me, or is it only in Bond films where they've actually done that? They cut the kind of the oxygen tank tube. You know, you got a fight
It seems
scene
to happen a lot,
underwater.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
really don't know. I can't think of other films where it's
Yeah.
diving's been a big conflict.
I'm not sure. This is pretty cool, though. Isn't it? Only Bond can do this.
Oh, I love this. It is, yeah, it's a bit cheesy, but I really like it. But that's the thing about Tim, he gets results.
Yeah, this is it. He does deliver. He delivers, you know. Because you can't tell. It's like obvious that it's not Dalton. Yeah, it's not.
Well, that's because he's not 57 with 22-year-old stuntmen.
No.
You know, he's in better shape, and yeah, it's...
And he does as much stunts as he can. That's Mr.
Oh.
Fermi Vice there.
Yeah.
Flying the plane.
Hello. His glasses look quite dark that you can't see out of them.
There's quite a lot of action in there, really. In the actual, I think it's just really well, like.
It's well balanced, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we've already said we've not even really got to Pambouvier yet. This, excuse me, this in its beats is actually fairly slow, but you never feel it because there's always something going on.
Nope.
I wonder how much is in that.
2 million? No, I don't know. I think I've got somewhere I've got a replica of those banknotes. I think a friend got me for as a birthday present one year. So a prop banknote there. So that was quite interesting. I must dig it out sometime, see if I can find
That's another fun fact.
That's it, folks!
Fun fact. I own that prop.
Is that why basically
Well, yeah.
you own $1? That's basically what.
Damn it,
It's the dollar. Oh, it's from License to Kill, honest.
Well, I don't know. He probably got it off eBay or something, but it's got a certificate of authenticity, and but yeah, so that's quite a few years ago now. I think I'll find it somewhere.
He does look like, oh fuck.
He's like bugger. Those cops are having a good time in that car. What are they doing? Not doing their job.
Probably eating donuts. That's what cops doing it.
Stereotypical. Keep up? No.
Can you imagine like doing this film like scene for scene, shot for shot, but just put Roger Moore in here?
Couldn't see it. I don't know.
Well, obviously there'd be a trail of like
Come.
ladies' juice in that office from where Pambouvier saw him.
Or trail of underwear or something like that.
Roger Moore, it was getting ridiculous, wasn't it? Anytime a woman vaguely looked at him.
Oh, children, this is called a CD-ROM. This is technology we had in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and that's
But look at those fucking graphics.
You never saw green like you did there, did you?
No. Oh dear. Active. Ooh, VIP.
If that was Roger Moore, they would have got sexually active written on their shit wig. Next.
Barrowhead bar. What do you reckon to this Barrowhead bar scene then?
It's so 90s, it's unbelievable.
Even though it's 1989, but I take
know.
the point.
Yeah, but it's that kind of era.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It kind of feels really Roadhouse, but
Roadhouse.
there was a period of time, and I've talked about this before, where I never disliked Dalton, but I couldn't see the appeal, which obviously I totally do now. But I remember watching something about Bond, and it was lots of little clips, and I don't even remember what it was, but it had him starting to fight in this bar. And I just remember thinking, oh, fuck, oh, right, I've got to watch this guy again. This guy's really deadly. And because we've had Roger Moore since, because we've had Daniel Craig since, and because I think, the whole sort of re-evaluation of the Lazenby film doesn't stand out as much as it used to, but you look at it was quite groundbreaking at the time, having a Bond actor who actually could bloody kill you.
Yeah, he's really lethal. Yeah, we get to see more of Benicio in this section as well.
So slim, isn't he?
I think what I like about it, I think this is like the one Bond film which at the time of the era kind of went into the late 80s, early 90s kind of action film, which kind of had these kind of scenes. It just felt like, oh, Bond's going to enter this kind of world for a bit. So that's how I look at it. So it's just one of the things that, it's not common in Bond films, but it's nice to kind of see every now and then, just have like him kind of like go into like these different kind of movie tropes that don't normally necessarily exist in his film.
Never had a problem with it. I never watched this and went, what on earth is this doing in a Bond film? It just never bothered me at all.
Benicio,
and even going through them all,
because
we've gone through these in such short order, if I was going to have a problem with it, now would be the time, because it would stand out when you've been watching all of them. It still doesn't. This film doesn't to me. It's as much a Bond film as any other.
And why is that? Is it just because of Dalton? Dalton was like consistent, or is it just the film itself is just like? Really
I don't know.
made?
I've just always bought it as a Bond film. Maybe there's a consistency in his performance from The Living Daylights. I don't know, but I've never looked at this and went, "Oh Christ, this is jarringly different." I haven't, and that's not to say it isn't. It's just never struck me this way. The first time I saw this, I didn't love it as much as I do now, but it was like, here's a Bond film, and when it finished, I didn't go, well, that's not a Bond film. I've never looked at it that way at all.
And it sort of fits completely within the canon, I guess.
You did for a while though, Becca, didn't you? It was one of the reasons you weren't as fond of this.
No, I think it was. I don't know. I remember early on in the review kind of series, I didn't compare it to, but said I'd probably hold it in a similar regard as like Quantum. Like for some reason, in there somewhere is a Bond movie. But there's just too much action, or too much other stuff going on that kind of, I don't know. But I don't know. Obviously, listening to you guys and kind of watching this film kind of more and more, I sort of appreciate more of the elements of it, and yeah. But yeah, it's totally, it's a completely different direction, and it's probably more in keeping with like the other late 80s, early 90s action movies at the time. But no, this definitely fits within the canon for sure.
But that is still James Bond to me as an actor. This is more James Bond to me than like Octopussy is. Although that's got more of the tropes and it looks a little bit more like a Bond film as we know it, if you look through the series and the way Connery played the role and the way everything like that, you then watch Roger Moore in Octopussy, and this has got far more in common with a classic sort of Bond portrayal.
Yeah, it's how you want to see the character portrayed.
I think so.
And that's what it's about. It doesn't matter what actually happens in the scene. It's like in context with the character.
He walks around. He very rarely runs. There's always a suaveness to him, but he's still a man of action. He could kill you. And then you've still got the tropes. You've still got him having martinis, wanked off, not fingered. You've still got him having, the James Bond bits. All the tropes are actually here, as I recall.
Yeah, they're all in there, definitely.
It's just a very different setting, and we don't see much of M's office, etc.
No, he's probably like, this is the most personal vendetta of all his vendettas, really, isn't it? He's out on a limb, really.
Yeah, I'll be interested when we get to Quantum because I'm not actually sure how I'd measure them against each other. I mean, I prefer
No.
this, don't get me wrong, but when you think what Quantum's about and,
Mm,
the love that absolutely wrecked his heart,
yeah, I
I
just think it's.
suppose that's as personal in his way.
I have quite a few problems with Quantum, but we'll get there.
But that's a bad wig, that's bad back projection.
That's my one complaint about this scene. It is really quite bad projection. Or just the lighting. It just looks weak.
I don't mind it. So I'll be honest, but
I've seen worse. GoldenEye's back projection's worse than this.
I don't mind it. I'm just like seriously, this character who just kind of couldn't give a shit about him before. All of a sudden, it's like, oh well, I'll shag you.
Yeah, the whole,
And the funny thing is, Bond's not even trying to come on to her. He's literally saying, I
Just
need
need
And
your
then
help.
suddenly there's a bit of a coy smile and a bit of a snog.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. You were flirting, were you? I didn't recognise that.
Well, it's Dalton. Come on.
Yeah. Still,
See, she's coming on to him. That's the thing. I suppose
That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, Dalton's not making any moves. She's the one who's kind of like
he's suddenly
80.
half interested.
And he's like, all right then.
Oh, okay. Looks like I'll be shagging.
Oh, God.
Why don't you wait till you're asked?
Yeah, I just don't buy the character just sort of awesome, just going like.
I think I might have said in review, because we're about an hour through this film now, and I think what I said in review is they took so long setting it up, they've now got to get them to Isthmus City quite quick to sort of catch them up and get him in. The film's got to catch up with itself a little bit,
That was nice.
and she's got to be there with him, and you've got to give a plausible reason. And so they've got to for the expedience of the plot, they've got to kind of fall in love with each other really, really, really fast.
Moneypenny.
So Dave, where are they going?
Isthmus City.
I love how like Moneypenny's got a picture of the Queen. It's like
The background. Greeny.
It's all getting serious now. They're off to
Yeah.
Isthmus City.
Oh dear.
Ben's bought his glasses from a. He's either bought his
His
glasses from a
face.
he's bought them from a joke shop, or he's borrowed them from Lottie Lenya.
he must have really bad eyesight.
We're just dropped.
Coupons, please.
Your watch, please.
I'm so
It's
concerned.
Isthmus
I'm an
City.
actress. Isthmus City.
Go compare.
That looks like
Go
shit. Hotel.
compare.
That's an epic car. Gee.
Yeah, I just thought I'd sing the Go compare guy because that's what
Voice of an angel.
the mayor looked like.
Oh, we didn't get Chris to sing the opening credits.
Oh, I didn't. Damn it.
He'd have been perfect. He'd have been perfect.
Next
last
time.
night.
Next time. So if Daniel Craig does come back, we need to get you to do the credits, Chris. Executive secretary.
Has there been any news on like or expectation on what's going to happen with the next Bond film?
Nothing new. Nothing new
No.
at all.
Well, just to date the show. Tommy Hiddleston appeared on Graham Norton last night on his show.
Graham Norton
Yeah.
must have got a surprise.
He had a Graham Norton time. No, he went on the Graham Norton show on the BBC and managed to dance around there being a Night Manager sequel and also Bond. So, we shall see.
Yeah, I imagine he would be in consideration.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I mean, at the moment, if the next film was going to be next year or the year after, so 17 or 18, you are looking at a Bond that was born in the early 80s, probably. I mean, that's not to say they won't go the Henry Cavill route like they nearly did last time and get a guy who's 22, or they don't think, well, let's just do two with this guy who's 45. But on the balance of probabilities, you're looking at someone who was born like 82, 83. And that brings in Dan Stevens, Tom Hiddleston, Henry Cavill, etc. And it rules out Idris Elba, Michael Fassbender, and all the lazy fucking tabloid go-tos.
Fassbender could pull it off, I think.
He could, but Michael Fassbender's about 4 months younger than me. Michael Fassbender will be 40 next year, very early next year.
I don't think Fassbender would want to do it either.
And would he want to do it?
No, that's it.
The scene that always links Fassbender to it is when he goes to South America in X-Men First Class
Yeah,
and finds
that's
the old war criminals. That is very 60s Bond.
yeah.
I mean, I think he would have been great. If he went with him instead of Daniel Craig, I think he would have.
Yeah, he would have been sort of
he would-
lazy for his age.
He would have been great as well.
Yeah.
But
I still think he could do it. And if you cast him and it was the next one, he'd only be like a similar age to like Brosnan or Tim when they started. So it's not impossible, but it's really unlikely. They don't tend to go for that bigger star, and I don't think they're going to cast someone who's already in their 40s.
No.
It's not going to be Idris Elba, and I'll happily. I won't bury that. If it ends up as Idris Elba, I'll front it up and say I was wrong, but I really can't see it. You're looking at early to mid-80s. English guy, not super famous, but reasonably well known. And to me, that's a Dan Stevens and possibly a Tom Hiddleston. Possibly.
or Luke Evans, maybe.
It could be Luke Evans.
Or a
you
Luke
never know.
Evans, or a Aidan
Or it could be
Turner.
unknown.
They're all in the right age category.
Yeah, bear in mind it'll probably be like when he changed
Might be a complete unknown.
when he changed Bond. So let's just say like come the point where Craig says I don't want to do it. There's probably like another year or so on top of what you would have any like whatever gap you would have in a Bond film. So would you probably talk about another?
That's not been the case in the past. I mean, you can't count the switch to Brosnan because there was all sorts of legal stuff going on. The only time that's really been the case has been to Daniel Craig. And I think they were caught in an awful lot of indecision then anyway. And you might be right, but I mean, even if it was 4 years, well, that's 2019. Craig was 38 when he first played the role. You're still looking at the same sort of thing, 81 to 84, somewhere in that region. It's going to be an 80s child, I think. So when people say Idris Elba and he's like early 70s, I think you're fucking dreaming.
Yeah.
Still, anyway.
Buffon Bond.
Buffon Bond.
So
I don't think this looks that bad now.
There's
Actually.
no
Oh, he's got
Evans.
a Buffon as well. He's got another Buffon.
It's no Evans.
Hey,
There's no Evans.
Kenny Rogers
Kenny
presents.
Rogers. Go to your phones. Bless your hearts.
So, I take it is your favourite then, Dave? Is it?
What next Bond?
Yeah, is it? What's his name? The guest. Dan Stevens.
I don't know. You always tend to think of it relative to the Bond you've got. So when I look at Dan Stevens, I see someone who's blondish and played a really rough, tough guy last time out. And I suppose that would be understandable given Craig is Bond. I remember a period where they were talking about Hugh Jackman playing it just after Brosnan. And he was still young enough at that point, and normally Australians and New Zealanders can do English accents. And forget how much he's bulked up in later Wolverine outings. You know, he was slim enough and had a sort of similar quality to him to Brosnan. I think you tend to. I think the problem is you think too similar to what you've got at the moment. So Dan Stevens springs to mind because I'm just going by their age, and we're assuming as well it's going to be someone we know. I just don't know is the honest answer. There's been all sorts of talk. I mean, the latest one was Aidan Turner, Poldark. You know, and he was in talks with them, and I don't believe that for a second, but I suppose it's possible. I don't really. It's not that I don't care, because if I get a Bond I don't want, it'll piss me off. But at the same time, we'll get who we get, and we'll make the best of it. And I don't have it must be this guy.
It could be a complete unknown, and they might be, best Bond ever. You don't know who it's going to be. So.
I think so.
It could be someone who kind of like materialises within a year or so, and then because Craig might do another one and then out, and then
Yeah.
It could be somebody who does some, I don't know. Think about something like, what was the Danny Boyle film that preceded Shallow Grave?
Shallow Grave, yeah.
Now, what if another Shallow Grave type film comes out in terms of size and profile, breaks a new director, breaks some new young actors, and it comes out in 2 years' time? and there sits the next James Bond.
Yeah.
You know,
it could happen like that.
Are we going to see? I'm not saying for a moment I would ever suggest this guy, but it's just pick a guy who's British. You know, will we see Andrew Garfield in something in the next couple of years where he plays something a bit more rugged, and we go, hang on a minute,
He could be
it's
the
the
next
right
Bond.
age? Yeah, you just don't know. But if you said to me now, you can have anyone who you can think of now, this minute, there's a Bond film coming out this year, and it's not Daniel Craig, but it has to be someone who's the right age now. It's not like a fantasy pick from history. Well, I probably would say Michael Fassbender, because I think Magneto in First Class was his audition reel. But
Yeah, there's very much a Bond
it won't be him, and it shouldn't be him, because he'll be too old by the time it comes around, and his salary ask is too high. Get Timothy Dalton back; he can do it.
Just have him be an old Bond. Just like, yeah.
Oh, Pam's gone and left him. Where's she?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sir, do you want to wank? Can I wank you off? And you're not fingering me though.
I think you should make a cocktail called Wanked Off Not Fingered.
I think you should.
Wanked off, not fingered.
We'll have to come up with a recipe for it.
The official drink for.
It's ready to talk. The official cocktail to enjoy.
It would have to have
So we've
something
got
a
a
bit
Bond
glue.
movie.
It would have an egg white in it.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh.
Oh God.
That made me feel kind of
Deliciously
ill.
nutritious.
An egg white and some of the juice out of some sardines.
Oh,
And then you got to get some alcohol in there as well. So throw in a vodka because we're a Bond.
Yeah, no, that's all it is. Just
So
like,
basically,
just vodka.
Never drink it.
vodka martini, egg white, and sardine juice.
sardines. Oh God.
And that's a wanked off, not fingered. That's the
Worst-
official drink of you.
Worst cocktail ever.
And it's
Don't
got
drink it.
and it's got 2 olives in it.
And hatch.
Uh,
Oh.
I feel,
Yeah, worst cocktail
I feel
ever.
queasy, listen.
Oh dear.
We are going to have to post that before we forget it, though, so people know what our drink
People know
is.
what's going on about. Or just like a dirty martini, but add the egg whites and stuff.
I do like Sanchez's shirt here.
It is a good casual look, doesn't he?
I mean,
It's
like,
striky.
when I say like it, I mean, like, I wouldn't like to wear it at all. But it's very striking.
It's quite fashionable.
Well, I won't go that far, but, you know, it's...
No. I say that jokingly.
Has he got 2 bow ties on, that guy?
I think it's just his collar, isn't it? Need your help. Push your help.
I'm gonna have to think about this myself, but what's your favourite Dalton scene?
Watch
Well,
the
well-
birdie, you bastard.
This is one of them. I like the way he says more a problem eliminator because
Yeah.
it's not. It seems so obvious when you watch it now because it's the version of the scene we've always known,
Yeah.
but it's not the obvious way to play it.
No,
It's not the
typical Bond
obvious
spelling
way to
turned on
say
its
that
head.
line at all.
No, it's turned on its head.
Well, it's what it works. It's very kind of
Eliminator.
Very relaxed, almost a little bit sleepy,
Yeah.
but not lazy in any way. It's
No, it's very
it's
slick.
really
he
it's a
says
little bit world weary.
He says it like it's a casual joke, doesn't he? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really like it. I like Don't You Want to Know Why? Bit Valley speak, but that's all right.
Oh, I like could have got a little bit nasty. I like that.
I like,
it-
just for the physicality of it, I like the fake Pushkin assassination.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
Oh,
The
well,
way
well,
he
well,
about it.
the way he spins to fire at Necros when he's spotted.
Really quickly.
Yeah,
Ciao.
It reminds me of Craig's gun barrel in Casino Royale. The way he spins with a loose jacket on.
Yeah.
Really like it.
There's a real sense of movement there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Grief on her,
I love all the
just
homoerotic stuff when he's. See, the thing is, if Chris was a secret agent, that would have been it, wouldn't it? He'd have gone to stake out Sanchez, and that would have been the last we ever saw of him.
You never see him again.
He'd have been living quite happily in the city.
Yeah, I just would have taken up a job. Like, oh fuck it,
You just take the job.
I'll just stay here.
I think you'd have given a few
I
as
hear
well.
you reward loyalty.
It's a very safe city, you know.
But yeah, I think Davi does quite a good job of like kind of making Sanchez kind of likable, even though you start off the film with him doing
Do you know
something
who
that's
he
actually
reminds
quite
me of,
horrible.
Chris? And it's only just occurred to me.
Who?
Marlon Brando's Vito Corleone. Because he
Ah,
plays it very much on the basis of reason, doesn't really raise his voice,
Yeah,
doesn't play it, plays very much the whole line of "I'll make him an offer he can't refuse."
yeah.
Although we tend to think of it as a catchphrase now, it was much more about no reason and logic first.
mm.
And
It's based on trust as well, isn't it?
I
All by
think
Sanchez is all about
I
trust.
think it is a very good, though not cliched version of like a Godfather type character.
Yeah. Well, he is, isn't he? He's meant to be like this big, you know, he's at the head of it all.
Yeah.
'Cause even though he's like a terrible person, he's likable as well. He's very charming. And
What's kind of like it's kind of disappointing for the film franchise, even though it's a vendetta. Bond gets his gun taken away from him, and he never actually uses
he
it.
does.
You know.
Yeah, he does actually. That's true.
He
That's right.
spends the entire film about his Walford.
Yeah.
Which.
Although if you're going to take that away from Bond, obviously literary, he started off with a Beretta.
He did. Yeah,
So, and that's a Beretta, so it's all in the same universe. It's a bit like in the cinematic Bond, it's an Aston Martin, but if he ends up in a Bentley, you go, well, I suppose at least there's a literary bent to that.
yeah. That's a nod to the original. Oh, Q. Oh,
I know it's just a bit weird because like you could have just had him have his gun taken away from M before, but he takes it back only to have it taken away from Sanchez. You know.
yeah.
It just would have like I think it would have been a bit more symbolic if he just like left it at them and they would have been like he's on a vendetta without his weapon because he's that committed, you know. So anyway,
Yeah, it's kind of even more stripped back, isn't he? I guess. But
anyway,
Q branch even dead long ago.
but anyway, this scene just is a bit random for a film that's change of pace. It's
It's,
like
it's a bit of a
all of a sudden
bit of a
it's
silly
Roger
Q
Moore.
scene.
Yeah.
For me, this scene is like, well, if you're gonna say like this Dalton movie being like a more harsh, more gritty film, is change of pace. This scene is a change of pace from this movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It seems,
Yes,
it's a
yeah, I
bit-
know what you mean.
yeah.
It almost belongs. I mean, it doesn't jar, and I say
Related.
that through when we've talked about this a lot in different episodes where the things have changed, and I've said the word jar or jarring a lot with different things, and this doesn't jar, but it does stand out as different.
It does.
I think that's testament to the film because growing up watching it, it never did jar. It's only like now I look at it, I think, oh, hang on, like what this is completely different to the rest of the film. But
I think it would almost be. I only notice it because basically Becca's just said.
yeah.
I've never really thought about it. And the only way I would have thought about it, you mentioned it in an earlier
Yeah.
podcast, that sequence there,
Yeah.
that little bit there.
Yeah.
Don't know if it was you or
Skeletons.
Becca, I think it was you that time, Chris.
Yeah, it's a
But
bit weird.
I think the only way I would really have ever noticed if someone had said to me at the start of the film, there's one scene in this film that really stands out as weird, and then I might have gone, oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
Maybe don't snork you.
We won't be sleeping 007.
The thing is, though, if someone
Oh.
said,
There's some fun fiction waiting to happen.
I didn't show you all my gadgets.
And fun fact, Timothy Dalton
fact,
finished
yes.
the film with a quarter of a pint of Q's spunk up his ass.
I'll never see it the same way again.
That's fun, folks.
That never happened.
Quarter of a pint's probably stretching it, to be fair. Well, it would stretch it, but you know what I mean.
Oh God.
Shut up, Dave.
So Becca, what's your favourite Dalton scene?
What's your favourite anus full of spunk, Becca?
Well, I can't concentrate now. I'm just appalled.
Okay, what is your favourite Dalton scene?
No. I think that the scene with Sanchez just now. I think that's really good. Yeah, I think at any time where he kind of breaks his, you can hear a little bit of Welsh coming in. That's
That
quite
bit
funny.
there, actually, Chris, gives the lie to what your dad said about he's too short. All the guys he's walked past, he's absolutely towering over them.
I know. I said that to him. It's like I always felt he was too. I had this conversation like literally the other week, and I said to. He said to me, he always felt he was too short. It's like, really? Because he's one of the tallest. He's one of the tallest actors who have played Bond. He's like, has he? Yep.
Well, how about that?
But
like,
I mean, really, apart from Daniel Craig, they're all close enough as makes no difference to the same height.
Yeah.
They're all 6'1" to 6'2" ish. There wouldn't be a lot between them.
Ooh. Doing it down. This is quite a good scene as well.
Yeah. I mean,
that was my chair.
We'll talk about it a little bit next week, and when we get Skyfall, because
I
really don't agree with Chris on Skyfall being, the showy like anniversary film. I don't, but I have to say it jarred in Skyfall where they had the signature palm print.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm thinking that's a relative. License to Kill's not old in the series; it's somewhere in the middle. And in terms of like when it was like 2/3 of the way through. Bit early to be repeating a gadget.
And I just don't think it's justified in the film. It's like, oh, is that it? It's not really like a.
No, it was purely for when that bloke picked up his gun. Well, you've only got to choreograph the flights that's slightly different. Yeah. It was just that film wasn't about gadgets, but it was about introducing the new Q. And if you're going to introduce a new Q, he's got to hand over something.
Yeah, he's got to give him something.
And also that whole handprint gadget is completely forgot about come Spectre. So it's it's just like he's got a regular Wolfer by then. So it's like, all right, well. But yeah, we'll get to that. My issues with the last two.
Yeah.
Craig's.
You can rant this time, Chris.
Well, things that I don't. It's just frustrating because I do enjoy them, but I just wish they were better. I just wish they just didn't just give into its own popularity and be like, yeah, Bond's great in it. It's like, yeah.
I'll be interested when we commentate on Die Another Day, just because when we were talking about it, we can make all these observations, but we're not watching the film as we say it. So you're saying, well, I don't think this is as bad as Skyfall. Well, when we go through it, I'll be pointing bits out. Going, Chris,
and by the way, when Dave says this, for anyone listening, I'm not saying Die Another Day is better than Skyfall.
It's just not. I mean, no one's saying... No, I mean, you didn't even say that. But even in terms of its references, yes, I get what you're saying about the DB5. But Die Another Day, I mean, even the dialogue, diamonds are for everyone. And Icarus is basically the diamonds are forever plot. And Gustav Graves is sort of...
Drax.
Hugo Drax, the book version. And then you've got him walking into Q's lab. And, I mean, they haven't even hidden it. They've just piled a load of it in the middle of the room. Here's 20 years of gadgets. Here's your 20th watch. Because he's only done exactly 20 missions. It was just shite.
That's a bit of a cheesy line, that one.
I think I'd rather have that and just get on with it. Like, over and done with. I'd rather just, like, have a new Bond. I'd rather have, like... Just get on with the film. Don't, like, sort of stop and make a point about...
I still haven't had Bond whacking a pensioner on the ass.
Oh.
That's what we need to really pay homage to Goldfinger. He looks gutted there, look.
He does, really upset.
You really want to get in the action.
I've had a night in bed with 007 and I got nowhere.
Oh, rubbish.
Anyway,
moving on.
Sanchez gone to a fancy dress party there as a negative.
There's a lot of smoking in this film.
There is.
That's because smoking is cool.
Smoking, drugs and drinking.
Smoking is cool, kids.
Do you expect us to talk? Recommend you enjoy a nice packet of cigarettes.
I don't.
Whilst having a wanked off, not fingered. But if you are underage, you leave out. You don't have vodka. You have cream soda instead, and you have a virgin wanked off, not fingered.
Usual health warnings apply. El Presidente de la Pez.
I always remember, I think it was Simon Pegg when he made Run Fat Boy Run, and they repeated the Rocky thing where he drank a load of eggs,
Oh yeah.
and he said it was like drinking snot.
Oh.
That's the way he described it. I don't imagine drinking an egg white's much fun.
Yeah, I imagine that's exactly what it feels like.
The
Just
birdie
this kind of
bastard.
like gooey consistency. Mm.
Yes, but it adequately mimics the look of someone spunked in the glass, therefore
Blech.
wanked off, not fingered. I would suggest putting salt around the rim, but I don't want to give that as an instruction. Given the nature of the drink, people might get a bit confused.
It's more of an option.
It'll cause a bit of a burning sensation if you put salt around the rim.
Here it comes. Dun, dun, dun. Right, that's it.
He's got an intenseness in his eyes, hasn't he? Oh.
He's really intense.
And I don't think
Birdie
I've ever really
bastard.
noticed how blue his
Yeah.
eyes are.
Yeah. Whoa.
Watch the
Crud.
birdie, you bastard.
You bastard. Rio, you
And then
bastard.
Bond versus Ninja! Which I think is probably, like, this was, when I first saw this stuff, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then Bond,
Ninjas! Oh my god.
and then Bond gets his ass kicked.
No. See, another thing about Bond as well, I mean, apart from being a crack shot, he's meant to be like an excellent, you know, like, he's a good boxer and everything as well, but like, here, you don't
Boxing
really
and
see it so
judo, I think it is.
much. Judo,
isn't it?
boxing,
But-
judo, that, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's an excellent digital marksman. But here, he gets his ass whipped, like you say.
Yeah, but, it, you know, it's done in a way, it's not like it's, oh, come on.
There's two of them.
Yeah. There's
No.
two of them, they're taken by surprise, they kind of,
Yeah.
you know, it's not, it's believable, it would be less believable if he just kind of
Oh.
beat, I was going to say beat him off.
Yes. We've already beaten off Blofeld, and we can also look forward to Nicolas Cage jerking off a shark, apparently.
But,
Oh god.
but I think it's
He
important.
looks really old in that poster.
Well, it's got to be hard work.
I just saw that and thought, oh god, he's aged so much. Obviously, he's probably getting on a little bit now. But I think bloody hell, he's looking old.
But well, I was gonna say, I think it's important in your action film that your hero should get his ass kicked, every now and then. It adds like,
It shows the human.
yeah, it shows like there's vulnerability. It's like, well, you can't always get his, fight his way out of it. Otherwise, it just comes like, yeah, it's just gonna
Everyone realistic.
win every fight in it.
Explosions everywhere. Oh no!
Yeah, it's quite gory, this bit as well, isn't it?
It is very gory.
Don't let them take you alive. So also like I think that's also one of my favourite Tim moments before we just says piss off so like casually even though he's like beaten
Piss
to
off.
death he's like piss off.
Yeah, it's another favourite Tim moment, I think. So come on, top 5 Tim moments then.
I've always liked the
Watch the birdie, you bastard.
I've always liked I might have said it before. I've always liked that kind of reaction he gives to what's her name in Living Daylights when he tells her to kind of go up like into the plane and she's just not getting it. He kind of looks like, oh for
You
fuck's
can
sake.
hear him go, fuck off, can't
He
you?
just goes, oh for God's sake, you know. He has like, you know, because we haven't really had Bond have that kind of human kind of.
No.
I
You don't
think-
hear him swear much, do you?
It's always stood out to me, and I've always kind of liked it. So.
Because it kind of you can't hear the audio of it as well. I think that kind of makes it funnier. I think. Oh, cyanide pill.
Lovely.
It looks terrified. The one terrified. He's like, oh. You think, oh my god, what's he gonna do?
So, any more? Yeah. So what else do I like? What other Tim?
What are your top 5 moments?
We've already done one scene. I do like when he sets Sanchez on fire.
When when he looks at her fish
I
statue.
quite like the bit where he
That's a bit
tells
weird.
where he tells him that he was a government agent. I like that scene. I like we've nothing to declare.
Justice to
Um,
do. Yeah, that's
I
good. Yeah,
like the
I like that
bit.
scene
I
too.
like the fake Pushkin assassination. And I like. I mean, that's a sixth, but I like the whole fake assassination of Kara because you really realise you've got a Bond who means business. I know he doesn't actually kill her, but he's a total professional. And also he's um, quite dismissive of Saunders and the way he's being treated
Mm.
because he's about the job.
Yeah. Yeah, with Saunders, like he's all about the procedure, but with Bond, he's getting fact. You know, he's getting results.
And that's it. I get results.
I get results.
Stuff his orders. I think that's the line, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's out of the book.
You
I
stuff
think.
your
Which
order.
book's? I don't know what book that's out of, but I remember reading it.
Oh, it is. It's the Living Daylights.
Or his
That's
Live
the...
Daylights, yeah.
Is it though? But I haven't read The Living Daylights, and I thought I'd read it in a book. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That is the literary Bond.
Stuff my orders.
Yeah.
If he sacks me, I'll thank him for it.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. So either basically he threatens to leave, or
I just
Well,
love.
he just doesn't give a shit, really. He's like...
no, he doesn't.
I do what I think is right. Fuck you.
So why couldn't he hold his hair like that? And when he's in the casino, it looks so much just to be fun. Oh, dear.
But again, that doesn't look as bad as years have gone by. Maybe I'm just more used to it. It was really shocking at the time. It was like,
Yeah.
what have they done to his hair? Whereas
Yeah.
now it's just a scene in the film, and he's dressed different and done his hair a bit different because it's a smart occasion. Doesn't bother me.
It's like Daniel Craig in Skyfall. His hair's really short in that film.
I know this is vaguely homoerotic the way they're looking at each other here.
It could be a bromance, you know.
This was
Well,
the scene I was
it-
thinking of earlier, where I thought Chris would just stay,
It's,
wouldn't
it's,
he?
it's largely down to Robert Davi just giving them sort of sly looks of like, sugar,
Cream.
who does it? Like, I think it's that, who do such a thing? That little thing.
Shocking. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm sure there's some way you could edit this and turn it into like a bromance type movie.
Oh yeah, you probably do most things.
You could easily do it.
Chris already has in his head.
Yeah, it's got to be done. Especially that nice pink shirt.
So clearly he's the woman in the relationship.
Yep, that's it.
Just
Oh,
realised
really?
this-
Yeah.
Is that a sexist thing to say? Just say if he's wearing pink, that means...
No. Guys
Is
wear
it
pink now.
sexist? I don't know. We're speculating on two heterosexual guys fucking, and the two guys here that are having this thought about it are themselves heterosexual. So this is quite a surreal conversation.
This is
isn't it?
very odd.
So I'm not really worried about how appearances now.
No. Plus guys wear pink nowadays, so it's alright. I know things.
Yeah, you could have just told him, like, yeah, you just told me.
Yeah, he just told me, I asked him. They show him as not so bright. It's got a big TV.
Not by today's standards.
No, but just in terms of how massive how heavy it must
Yeah,
be.
remember kids, they were
A big-
big boxes before, not these big flat things.
No, a big cafe Ray job.
Yeah.
In it, guard number 2. Who's worse, Crest's guards or this guy's guards?
Sorry, wait. Oh, Chris.
Who's got the worst? Yeah, Crest or
I don't know.
Sanchez.
I think. Well, this guy is a little bit wet behind the ears, but he's kind of lovable. It's like
Really?
You. He's the only one with that huge complex.
you can kind of go, "Oh, you fucked up," but oh god.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I think, yeah. I think everyone's got like someone at work. He's kind of like that. He's just kind of like a little bit kind of
A little bit rubbish.
dumb, but we just kind of he's okay though. He's all right.
He's alright. He's harmless.
What exactly is Q doing there?
Don't know.
I don't know. He's experimenting with ping pong balls as visions to aid to seeing.
I think they're obviously they're lights, aren't they, on the other side? Oh, God. Right, G, what's going on?
Kind of like a kind of really odd beige dress
Bloody hell.
she's wearing. Yeah, it's just like the Stinger missiles that just kind of we just told about, and that's based about it.
Mm.
I mean, it pays off later on when he's got rocket launchers, but then it just feels like, well, why wouldn't you just have rocket launchers anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, they get to a lot of trouble, don't they? And you think, oh.
It's like, yeah, just what's can't he just get rocket launchers? Well, I mean,
Clearly not. Clearly not.
If he just had them, I would have bought it. It's like, oh, he's got a bazooka. Okay.
What is this in your personal vendetta? Mm-hmm.
I didn't realise Interview with the Vampire was getting a remake.
Oh no!
Oh, at least this way you'll have won't have Christian Slater.
You're Jared Leto instead.
Is Lestat.
Oh God.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's in
Who's in it? Or do you not know?
Jared Leto as Lestat.
Yeah, Jared Leto.
Oh, Jared Leto. Really? Well, I suppose I can buy that. Who plays Louis?
I don't know yet.
Oh no.
And the award for worst accent in this film?
Goes
Take me to the
that
bridge.
guy.
Why are they all a bit Dutch porn star? Not that I've ever seen porn,
Maybe
obviously.
secretary.
I'm a man of moral courage. Although obviously there's a scenario there that didn't quite play out.
Yeah. He reminds me a bit of Lloyd Bridges, that guy.
He really does. Thank you. That's it. It's Lloyd Bridges.
Well, so, yeah. Is it?
I've won
Just-
that.
just a
No,
little bit.
I've thought that so many times. Who does he remind me of? It's Lloyd Bridges.
I really want him to be Lloyd Bridges.
Yeah, you know what it is. It must have been that line just now where he says, "I think I picked the wrong time to stop sniffing glue."
Yeah.
The shit's about to hit the fan. Splat. That's grim, that is.
Let's do this old-fashioned way. First one to die loses.
Oh dear. In you go.
He's generally great at spoofs. Did he only ever do like hotshot films and Airplane?
Lloyd
Terms of
Bridges has
spoofs.
been in loads of stuff over the
No, but in terms of spoofs, like and comedy.
Was he around when they did like Spy Hard and stuff, or was he no?
I can't remember when Lloyd Bridges died, to be honest. My
Oh,
guess, it's a
might be still
total
good, I don't
guess,
know.
is something like 97,
I really don't know.
94, 97, somewhere in that region, I think he died.
I don't think that's his name anyway. Uh-huh.
Everyone's loving like old Cardi, aren't they?
The 80s Cardi. It doesn't look any less villainous because of it.
No, well, he's just so casual. He's so goddamn casual with it. Yeah, it takes a real man to pull off pink.
That's it.
How do you pull off pink? I mean, you could finger her, but
No, I mean the pink is in the colour.
oh, okay.
Not as in the pop star.
No, not as in the pop star.
Or the popular drink.
You do what you want in your own spare time.
He's a bit Bill Paxton.
Yeah, he's a little bit.
Who
So we can.
The guy stood up.
Have to recast this movie starring modern actors. Let's get Tim back in, and you know.
And Carrie Lowell, she looks exactly the same still.
Yeah. I think Tim and the two leading ladies. I don't think they've changed that
They
much
look
at all.
fine. Robert Darby looks much the same. Frankly, what you're basically saying is just do this film shot for
Just do it
shot
all again.
Yeah.
Except Wayne Newton's left us.
No, Wayne Newton's still alive.
Oh, he's still going. Oh, sorry. Who am I
Yeah.
thinking
Robert
of?
Brown's dead.
Yes. Sorry, I do apologise. Falsely accused various people of dying along the way. Sorry.
Sorry, bless your heart.
You can edit that part out.
Nope.
Nope, that's staying in.
How can we edit that out? It's in real time, this.
I know.
Where's 007? He's coming just to finish off his drink.
That's not my money. That's where we go.
That's right, amigo. Oh. Head exploding scene
So
imminent.
this is like the only time he actually loses his shit, really. Well, apart from
Yeah,
the
he
end.
really does, doesn't he?
Apart from the end.
It's like everything's kind of coming around a gap, you know, around him.
And this is the bit always get edited out when you watch it on ITV.
Yeah. I think even if they show it, like, you know, past the watershed, I think they still cut a little bit out.
Mm.
To be honest, he doesn't look any uglier with a big balloon head than he does.
Oh.
He just kind of looks the same.
What are you doing? Oh, sploosh.
Look at that handsome man, Chris.
He loves that face.
I always wonder how that actually works.
I've no idea.
Oh, I don't know.
I just accepted that it does work.
Right. If there are listeners out there who are smarter than us, which is probably all of you to be fair, if you can explain this in a way to us that isn't too technical, like basically imagine you're talking to a bunch of thickies,
Oh,
because, well, you are. Can someone explain to us how this whole pressure thing works? Pressure builds up in the
Yeah.
room,
It'll be
and then it
interesting.
gets released, and I'm not quite sure why that would make your head explode.
Yeah. I imagine something to do. I don't know. Must have
Might be an equalizing of pressure thing. I
Yeah.
don't know.
like pressure goes in and just like I don't know. Be interesting. Although, unless it's all this bullshit, they just made it up. Just because is it possible? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing you could do, listeners, is just write in with some made-up bullshit that sounds plausible, and we'll read it out on air. And by we mean Becca.
yeah, email us at expectedtalk@gmail.com. We forgot to do all the usual social media at the end of last. I can't speak.
Oh, we
Yes,
may
it
as
was-
well do it now. It doesn't matter.
We'll tell you where you can find us.
Okay. Well,
People know where to find us. It's fine.
Half naked Tim.
Yeah, he's got a hairy chest, hasn't he, Tim?
He's quite hairy.
Yeah, he's not too hairy, but
think-
it's.
But
I've just noticed
I have
that.
hairy
I've
shoulders.
just noticed that big scar he's got.
Yeah, ouch.
where?
On his
Where am I
arm.
On
looking?
his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Has he got one on his arm as well?
No, on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, he's got one on his arm, one on his shoulder. I never noticed that before.
Yeah, I've just
Never noticed that. Despite watching it a few times.
I'm too busy looking at Robert, so that's probably why.
Yeah, oh, but he's handsome, you know. You're gonna like it. Hello. Come to bed, eyes. Have they kicked him? Move that bloody fish though. That's really creepy.
It is an odd choice, isn't it? But then hold.
Very odd. Doesn't really fit in with the rest of the decor.
Well, nothing fits the rest of the gate.
No.
I'll be honest, it's all.
No, not really.
You got like snake lamps and shit like that.
A weird bust that's in the background. What's all that about? Anyway.
He's a Ken Dodd fan.
Oh dear.
How did you become a fan? Just like that.
Just like that. Ba-dum.
That was
No,
eh? That's Tommy Cooper.
That's Tommy Cooper.
I don't know. Sorry.
Oh.
All those nostalgic memories of watching Tommy Cooper die live on stage.
Ew.
Televised live.
Was it actually televised?
Yeah, well, they had like a variety show live from Her Majesty's on a Sunday night with Jimmy Tarbuck presented, and so it was like a variety act, and Tommy Cooper was one of the acts. He's collapsed on stage, and he was laying there, and like a hand came through the curtain trying to sort of rouse him, and then it sort of quietly went to a commercial break. And yeah, he died live on stage.
Oops. Oh.
I never knew that. I knew
No.
that's what happened, but I didn't know if it was actually televised.
No, I didn't know that either.
Because people actually were laughing because it just thought, oh, it's a joke. It's you know, because he was like that. He just sort of just did stuff and people just laughed because he just had that kind of thing to him. So when he collapsed, people were just laughing because they assumed that, oh well, it's
Yeah, they did. They thought it was an act.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I knew that. This is really random.
What?
Is this with the microphone broom?
Why did they give him such a dark tash? Can't they find like a lighter one?
That's like the most random scene in the
Yeah.
whole movie.
And it doesn't-
and for all the shit Q gives Bond about returning the gadgets back, he just casually just throws that away.
Yeah, but
Throws
he'd
it
only
to the
be
bushes.
returning them to himself, to be fair. He's not going to give himself a stern reprimand, is he?
No, but it's just like pot kettle,
Yeah, exactly.
being a hypocrite, it's like,
But Chilly where she is.
Why has she got stiff nips?
Benicio.
Benicio.
Has he got stiff nips? Okay.
He's always got stiff nip.
He's very good.
So
He worked with Robert
he's going to
Darby's
be
mentor.
the baddie in the new Star Wars film, isn't he?
I
Yes.
can't wait for that. I'm very excited about that.
He was meant to play Khan,
Yeah.
which
would have been
makes
very interesting.
slightly more fucking sense.
That would have been very interesting.
It does because he has the right sort of
Well, it's closer in ethnic background, isn't it?
yeah, and he would have played it sort of.
I always think you're on a bit on dodgy ground when we talk about ethnic backgrounds. It's not like, we certainly don't want to suggest, well, they all look the same.
But
it's certainly a little bit closer than white English Benedict Cumberbatch.
well, a little bit on Star Trek Into Darkness. I think I probably said it before on some podcasts, but my issue is not it's not the fact it is Benedict Cumberbatch and he's a white. That's fine, but it's just like him as a character wasn't there. He wasn't playing Khan as the character, and I know all the kind of like, well, it's alternate timeline, yes, but his character would still be the fucking same. Especially like the
Yeah, he would still have a blow wave and lots of velour.
especially since like the like where like the timeline sort of new timeline started, he would still be frozen.
It would
So-
be absolutely unchanged.
Yeah. So the only thing would have changed would be the circumstances of how he was found. That's basically the only thing would have changed. And that's what kind of like annoys me a little bit because it's just like
A lot of things annoy me about that film. It's the more I was disappointed when I went to see it, really disappointed, and I came out saying some harsh things about it. But on rewatch, it's getting worse.
So
It's a film that I now think is among the worst in the Star Trek series.
it's known. Well, you know, I guess I'll rewatch it. I'll see where I stand on it. But I remember actually enjoying it for what it was, but I was just like annoyed by plot decisions, you know, kind of and things like that more than anything, and how it ended was just a bit. Was that it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a dumb squib, really, the ending.
You know, I mean, the main climax of the film ends in in that kind of like Star Wars kind of flash sort of pan thing that just sort of skips to the next scene.
Really?
Yeah, he's kind of just
Oh,
like
wipes.
yeah, that's
like a
that's
wipe.
it. The wipe.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, is that it?
Wipe ending. You think, oh, really? Well.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not very well. And plus, also, JJ should have sort of looked at that take of Spock shouting Khan and thought, nah, we'll leave it. 'Cause it just looks lame.
Doesn't make any sense. It's just shit. And we recite the captain's oath, which goes, and then he reads out, "These are the voyages of the Star Trek." That's not an oath.
No.
And Nimoy. It would have been so much nicer to see him go the way he treated him in the first Star Trek.
Yeah,
movie.
leave it at that. He wasn't needed in that one. He wasn't really used to the plot. How did you beat him? I died. Well, Kirk wasn't there to hear that advice. It's a completely different scenario. It was just cram him onto the screen.
Yeah. And it's got kind of similar to feel about Skyfall. It's just like, look nostalgia, look people, look fans. Here he is.
Yeah, it's really just signposting,
like,
isn't it?
And it's just like, do we don't need don't fucking.
But what you had in that case, more than with Skyfall, is you had hack writers with no fucking talent who take a rebooted timeline, which gives you the opportunity to go anywhere, and you do yet another pale copy of the best film in the series. It was dreadful. And the thing is, as well, it's just the logic leaps. They go chasing after Khan when they've got 72 people with the same blood already on the ship. It's just
ridiculous.
I like how we talk about Star Trek now while watching.
Well, tune in when
there.
we cover Star Trek Into Darkness when we're telling you all about License to Kill.
Well, that's going to be like actually no, that's going to be after Indy, so it's not going to be that far away.
No, it's probably about 6 months away into Darkness.
Yeah,
something like
probably
that.
soon.
Yeah. But I thought.
I tell you now, I will absolutely fucking destroy Into Darkness when we.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop you on that because. And the annoying thing is though, I going into it, I thought it's not going to be Khan. They're going to do something different. They're basically going to do what Khan did and take like a villain from an episode from the original TV show and make him the main villain, didn't you? And I thought that's a good idea. Why don't you do
because
that?
originally people thought it was going to be Gary, whatever he's called, from Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Yeah,
And
which would have made sense as well.
Yeah, it would have made much more sense. Khan, it's really.
It's
The one character you leave alone is Khan.
Or if they were going to bring him in under like, don't actually have him as a villain and being kind of like.
But don't bring him in with the same thing where a character dies trying to get the ship going, and
like
it's really dumb.
They could have played it how like he's actually working with the Enterprise and like not actually with Kurt, but he could kind of like come in and out.
And that Tribble must have been stuck to the table with sticky back plastic because the ship had been at all different angles and everything had been flying everywhere. Tribble was still comfortably in place, just snoring.
I always wondered about like when you see these action films with chemists working for drug dealers. I wonder how those guys get the jobs.
Application form probably. A lot of places these days are not CVs.
Do it online.
Competency based with a short skills based exam. I've always taken it when you've got some kind of specialist, particularly if it's drugs, they've leveraged an existing addiction or something.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's generally how it works.
I mean,
I would
it is probably possible that like they might have been seeked out by the drug dealers and like themselves and just offered them like shitloads of money. Like,
Where did you end up working when you first got addicted, Becca?
I can't, you know.
Oh, it's not legal, is it? What you were doing? Sorry.
I'm addicted to Bond, you know.
That wasn't an awkward edit, folks. It did finish at OND.
Yeah, so this is part of the film where Sanchez just goes mental, and it's like,
Yeah,
why
it's all crumbling down around him, isn't it? Pretty much. So.
Yeah, but it's just like literally happened like that.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
I to undermine the whole thing.
So unless it's just like he's crumbled under the pressure of everything else, or underneath it, or he is always a selfish prick, and is not loyal himself, even though he advocates it on his workforce.
No, he's just a bastard generally. Run! There she is.
Again, this is like this whole idea is kind of an odd choice, like the whole like weird temple front thing, and you got all this going on.
Well, I suppose if there's much sacrosanct in this world, it's religious institutions. They don't pay taxes. They don't tend to get searched.
No. It's like the ultimate legitimate front, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Scientology.
There's so much powder flying around there. I would expect them all to be a bit wankered anyway.
You probably develop a mild habit just going out of there.
Yeah.
What do you know about stingers?
All there is. Sorry.
Yeah, so what do we got left? We're getting quite close to the end of this film now. There's still a while to go, but next week we will release Our Die Another Day commentary. Then we do the 4 Craig films. But before we get to Spectre, the last Craig film, which will likely be a sort of hybrid of commentary and review, we'll do a rankings episode. And we'll also do a music episode, which means we've got about 7 episodes to go of this show before we regenerate.
Into Indiana Jones, into Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. That'll be good fun, I think.
Yeah, nice quiz.
I
It's
just
a bit
suddenly
of a palate
realised
cleanser as well because it's quick.
I just suddenly realised this is episode 30 as well.
Yes,
Oh,
this
yeah.
episode 30, yeah.
Episode 30.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's hard to believe that 30 episodes already.
No, that's amazing.
I think it's more the fact that early on, because of how busy everybody was, we had a much patchier schedule. We started quite quickly, but somewhere around the middle, we only recorded one in about 2 months or something. And then we've kept a regular schedule, so we've gone.
Well, no, recorded, but it just like.
Yeah, but I mean, there
Too
were
well for it
weeks
to go
we
out.
didn't as well. But all I'm saying is we've gone from the first half of the series took a long time, and from like For Your Eyes Only to Here seems to have been quite quick.
Yeah, we've gone like weekly, as it were, quite quickly.
More or less, yeah. We've missed the odd one. But this one will be released quite quickly. There's a tiny bit of editing to do at the start, but we mean tiny. So Chris will put this out in the next couple of days. And then we'll get to Die Another Day when we can. Yeah, and then we hit the Craig era. And it seemed so far away when we were doing the Thunderballs and so on.
It does.
But yet we're here.
It's so long ago now that I almost feel like we should finish and like do Doctor No again, just to get it up to date. That was a bit short and it was a long time ago. Let's re-watch the first 6.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Favourite Bond explosions.
Oh, this is one of the worst Tim lines, where he says, "I reached the dead end."
Oh.
But it's so throwaway, and he moves on for it, and it's really spat out like he does think those sorts of lines aren't for him.
You sort of regret saying it. Oh dear.
I wouldn't. I don't want to say it's beneath him. I don't know.
I don't know
I wouldn't
how
want to say.
exactly did he get him on there? It just seems like.
I don't know, but here you go. He's got. Looks like he came to a dead end, and he's straight onto something else. It's just. Roger Moore would have stood around like looking proud of himself for half an hour.
Yeah, he would have
And
started
then,
to go like.
and
He would
then
have
ask for a
raised an
celebratory
eyebrow.
blowjob.
He met at an end
Fuck five.
Yeah, you can hear
to
Roger saying.
celebrate.
Yeah, he always has that look saying, "I'm going to get killed now, aren't I?"
See, yeah. I mean, he knows that there's something that, I mean, I might have missed something, but I think some of these kills are, he's been betrayed by some of these guys.
Mm. And the Bond gets away in a cart.
The new Aston Martin contract.
Oh,
That's convenient.
surprise! Bless your heart. Right.
Surprised no one's pinched that.
Yeah. Or hasn't been blown up or something. Run!
Oh, he's had a good fondle of her ass there.
Oh, there's a slime on that, Tim. So it's getting to the point where I've now actually got to the point where I'm just watching it.
Yeah, but you've done really well, Chris. You've fucking spoken and paid attention and everything. It's like the first time a child ties their own shoelaces or something. I'm just so proud.
Very proud. After an epic shift. This is quite a good, like, one of the most famous action scenes in the Bond franchise as well, isn't it? The tanker
Oh, I
chase.
would say so, yeah.
And then is it this bit? You can hear
Owns its reputation, it's good. Oh no, I can
Yeah.
hear the music in my head, yeah.
yeah. And you got the bullets kind of bounce off and you hear it to the do 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 do, you know, the Bond theme, as it were. I think it's this, yeah. Do 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 do.
Obviously, that was good. If Chris had done it, it would have been.
Oh yeah, Chris. Sorry,
Angela.
yeah. Chris could do it so much better than I can. Definitely. Voice of an angel.
So I just thought of a gag involving his cock then.
Lick my such and such.
That's kind of bad projection there.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
But
At
you
least
know-
they've had the good grace to shake it around a bit.
Yeah.
Speaking Spanish, so just to translate for people watching.
See.
But it's like the thing in Die Hard where like he tells tells his henchman like in German and it looks like he doesn't understand him and he says it to clarify in English, but in reality it's for us. Pineapples. Like a gentleman reference there.
Uh-huh. He's like, what?
Don't worry, folks, we will be talking at some point.
This looks so dangerous, this scene. Oh
I
my
like
God.
how the he looks just so jolly, the Mario looking driver.
Mario.
He just looks so like,
Mario.
hey,
It's a me, Mario.
Well, he's driving around on roads in the middle of fucking nowhere most of the time. No company, nothing going on. And all of a sudden, he's part of a major Hollywood production. He's bound to be a bit
Convoy.
excited.
It's a me, Mario. I'm in a movie. Woohoo!
But he's glad he gets out of here now. You notice that none of the drivers actually die.
No.
Well, I'm not sure about this one because he
That's
hasn't got very far before it blows up.
No, you see him run away.
Yeah,
What?
I can't remember now. I mean, I'm about to find out, obviously, but there are a couple of explosions in these types of films where
It's quite cool. Look.
Yeah.
Pew! Quick! He got away pretty quick. Hopefully he survived.
Yeah.
it's how much it goes up. Look, that would have immolated him.
Yeah. That's such a cool stunt.
He might have got a bit of blowback. Look at all the jizz just
Run!
I'm sure he'd have preferred cash, but alright.
Smush.
Alright, but
That's so cool.
the sound of Becca just like getting off on the destruction.
What?
Just like, yes.
Smush.
She's always very much been the Xenia on the top of this this crew.
What?
Yeah,
Hardly.
she likes to
Turned
stay
on
on.
by pain and destruction.
Yeah.
Hardly.
She always likes to stay on top of things.
Oh god. Good job, I like you.
Yes, but we earned that. We're charming. That's not a coincidence. We've been working at it. Thank you.
Oh god. Massive explosion.
More carnage! To be fair, this is actually quite good timing on Bond's part, isn't it?
Oh no. You think?
Yeah, it'd be quite a difficult thing to pull off, that, wouldn't it?
Oh,
He's got no idea what speed that was going to go at, to be fair.
no.
To be fair, that driver
It
might
could
have
have
got
gone
killed.
horribly wrong.
The driver of that other vehicle might have got killed.
Might have. This might have got killed.
Things
Oh
start
god,
turning.
criminology's not happy. Just shoot him, you twat. Right, there we are.
Well, you're on 35 grand a year. That should help with the £80 million deficit.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll make a big impact.
Yeah. Plus that lavish suit budget, because you was dressed a bit classy.
It was the 80s after all.
Do you remember like that sort of time? Oh yeah, see, he lives.
He's alright, he survives.
So yeah, they do make a point of like saying like, yeah, the drivers live.
Apart from that one.
I think it's safe to say he survived. He dragged him out.
He survives? Okay, happy ending.
Well, I don't know about that, Becca. They're
Well,
quite
no.
happy to drag him out, but I don't know if they'd do that for him.
Give
That wasn't what it was implying.
him the kiss of life.
It's life
I
quick
would hope that he
hand
survived.
job. Job's a good one.
The kiss of
That
life
isn't what I meant.
in his cock.
The blowjob of life. Then flip him over and give him the ready good seeing to of life.
That's not what I meant. Oh dear. Okay, I must not have a search a squeaky chair. Dodge. Quick advert for Dodge there. Oh! Wheels on fire. A fab theme tune.
That's what I just. That's where my mind went to.
Fab. Wheels on
The
fire.
movie.
By the way,
Coming soon.
who asked
going out
for an
soon as
ab?
well, isn't it?
Who asked for an ab movie?
Some studio.
Like,
I kind of think it's going to go the same way as the Dad's Army movie.
like no one
Like
gives a shit.
But I might go and see it there. It looks funny.
I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. Again, it's like it's one of the weird things where it might have been funny at the time watching it on TV. But
Chris, you've got a Cineworld card. You'd go to the opening of a fucking fridge.
Oh,
Of course you'll see it.
actually,
how much is your Cineworld card, Chris?
I think about 17 odd quid or something like that.
Okay.
17 quid.
Yeah, Odeon's the same, I think.
Odeon's
I've got
pound
one,
dear.
yeah.
Odeon's like is $17.99. I think.
$17.99.
Cineworld
Okay.
is $16.99. I think.
See, if they brought the price down a little bit, I might get one.
You get discounts of other things as well. You get bits. You just
Oh,
get
do you?
Yeah.
Ah,
Happy
well.
endings.
I didn't mean it like that. It's like an Austin Powers, when the henchman dies. Like every henchman's got a family,
Not really. I'm sure there are single henchmen.
There's a club for them somewhere in Hollywood.
Yeah. They probably date femme fatales.
I don't mind because they all got really good. What's it
Death
called? Like,
in service
yeah,
benefits.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I know like whatever family they'll be absolutely fine.
No, they'll be alright.
It's pretty shit stinger if you can't like blow up a little plane.
I mean, that was
No.
the point range he missed from them, wasn't it? And he did miss, but suddenly it's hit. But it's Robert Darby. He probably willed it back. With the power of Chris's
There
love.
he is.
Oh, the brakes
There's the
aren't working.
petrol. That's
So the machete.
actually...
If we do ever get him on the show, you just won't be able to control yourself.
I'll be absolutely professional.
Yeah, given we've reviewed this film and now commentated on it, I'm not sure what we're going to have him on for.
No.
So, Robert, do you want to come on and do the Fantastic Four with us?
Can you imagine if he actually sat and watched this with us? How amazing that would have been.
No. I must confess. Well, I think that's my fault because I've just been too chicken to approach him.
You did
So-
approach him, though.
I did, but then he was like, "Oh,
And
let's
all I
work
did
it
was
out."
tell him Chris was in love with him.
But I haven't. I haven't.
And
I've been-
Maybe
beyond that.
maybe he heard the show and thought, oh, fucking messed up.
hey, I
bloody
do
hell, maybe
wonder if
not.
he's like, I'll give this a quick listen. And basically, there was lots about you having erections because of him.
We could try. I mean, Tim's on Twitter as well. We could also try to approach him and say, "Hey, come on our show. We've done all your
Is that
film."
properly Tim that's on Twitter?
I think it might be. You know.
I know Pierce is.
Yeah, Piss is on. He's on Instagram too. Not that I stalk him much. No.
No, you kind of outgrew him by the time you were 15, didn't you?
Yeah. No. Well,
I love this.
this is a really brilliant scene. Oh,
Nice they
Really-
gave him a lighter. That was handy.
Yeah, Felix's.
Yeah, the Felix, like,
If
yeah.
he just showed Sanchez a fucking butter knife now, it'd be a bit. Right. Don't you want to know why?
These are how would he
Here's some
read that?
cufflinks.
You wouldn't be able to read that. Actually, I've
Yeah.
just realised the actual close up of the lighter is not in context with the actual scene itself.
It's continuity error, is it?
Well, I think it must have been like, oh, actually, we need to have a
It was an insert, probably.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably shot afterwards, yeah.
I mean,
Probably
I'm
Michael
actually,
G. Wilson holding it or something.
or maybe it was from the actual wedding scene as well from before. I might have
Could
just reused that. I don't know.
Could be. Was it covered in like Della's fanny batter
Yeah.
Oh, God.
from where she just teased Bond by playing with herself with it?
That's got to be one of the most like gruesome villain deaths, I'm sure, of the whole series.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything quite like it. And when you think of the head exploding scene in the same film,
Well, that's pretty
even
horrendous.
though it's
isn't
not
it?
the
Yeah.
greatest effect in the world now, but as an idea, it's pretty awful. I can't think of another one like it. I suppose the only one that is it's not gruesome, but it's kind of hard hitting, is Alec Trevelyan,
Yeah.
because the
That's-
way
yeah,
he
that's pretty
hits the
grim.
floor is
And then there's
all his
smashed by the.
yeah, all his bones
like-
have been all of his bones have been smashed, and he's kind of like coughs and stuff, like his lungs are filling up.
He's not going to survive that, is he?
Yeah. He's quite up. It's a game of
Yeah.
golf.
Yeah, go on. That's good.
I've got to go.
Yeah.
Some boobs have just arrived.
Well, I lost my leg and my wife's been horribly murdered. But apart from that, yeah.
Really? Jump, jump.
But on the other hand, Luton won.
Luton won. That's him. I think that is actually.
You avenged me, did you? Great, cheers.
Oh, in you go.
Q's pulled, and Bond's about to ruin this. Couldn't he have had her leave Q to get his end away rather than trying to sort out the president?
Just do a swap.
He could have gone over, and yeah, he could have done.
But it does pretty much say she's a gold digging hole because like she's like
It does.
I think you president would be fine. Oh, really well.
President Bond.
If you're
I love that he only really stops kissing there because he's caught. I mean, basically, if she turned up a couple of minutes later, he'd been hanging out the back of her. He's like, oh,
But yeah, Pam Bowie has a proper arc in this film because she starts the film as kind of like cold, icy, and really doesn't give a shit. Now she's just like, oh, James,
yeah.
I just want James to love me. It's what
And
matters to me.
Bond's got an arc too, an arcing
He goes,
rotism.
She's wearing a very good dress.
Yes, but she's done it for Tim.
Oh, then it's all right.
That's all right.
And she's going to be Mrs. El Presidente.
And Richard Gere.
Yeah, she's Mrs. Richard Gere. And now you know the rest of the story.
Who's Mrs. Richard Gere?
Well, she was. They've split now, but Karen
Yeah.
Bell was married to him for about 12 years or so.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
A bit longer than that, I think, but yeah.
Ooh.
So there, she's back in the market, guys.
Winking fish. Oh dear.
Yeah.
And
Quite-
Timothy Dalton had a baby with a good woman who ended up with Mel Gibson. It's all very incestuous.
Isn't this a little bit weird? How like it's just freeze frame and then credits?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a bit odd, isn't it? That takes you out.
they cut
Well-
the tit wank.
Yeah. But the winky
So
fish.
no, thank you for watching along with us.
The winking fish is an odd thing to end this film.
But I don't think it's that
Yeah.
bad. It's almost throwaway. I mean, I
It
don't
is.
think it's good, but it's just so
It's just when you
throwaway.
think about it.
Yeah.
You asked me to.
You.
You gonna sing along?
Oh no, Chris is singing. Shush, everyone.
But the
What's
credit,
I don't like this. I don't like this song very much.
the credits are pretty short as well. Like sort of the end, closing credits. You think about nowadays where you have to sit there for like another 20 minutes.
I think it was probably made by Bobby Bodefinger. That's why. Relatively skeleton crew. Timothy Dalton didn't even know he was in this.
Not forgetting his pay packet at the end.
Well, no, this is basically Tim on holiday.
That's why he finishes with the line, "Gotcha, suckers."
Wink. Chris Corboard, special effects supervisor there.
Yeah. Worked on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been busy, hasn't he? So
So there we are. Licensed to
you'll
Kill
buy Sheila
commentary.
Goldfinger.
Yeah. And in a few days' time, we shall record another. For Diana.
Oh god, that's gonna be hilarious.
For the greatest Bond. Oh no, wait, hang on. Sorry, that's.
No. The worst Bond film ever.
It was
didn't
Nita
talk about
Hamahori's
Dirty
best
Love.
effort of late 2002.
Lee Tandoori Chicken's best.
Yeah.
He sounds very chicken.
Dirty Love. I don't remember that.
Dirty Love. Yeah, we didn't comment about that, did we?
Dirty Love.
Worst song in a Bond film ever.
Well,
I got
it's
10.
got
I
some
don't
pretty
know.
stiff competition.
Oh. So
Yeah,
yeah,
thanks for listening
I
along with
think
us.
next commentary will have that fucking Madonna song. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Yeah, but
bloody-
we'll have it muted.
I know, yeah, that's true.
But
You
we'll
can
have the
sing along to it,
subtitles
Chris.
so that we'll know she's singing.
Sigmund Freud.
And then she goes, analyze this.
Analyze this.
God, she thought
Blame
she was being
Madonna.
so clever.
I know.
Maybe we can get Madonna on and ask her to explain herself.
Yeah, because I bet she's a right laugh.
Just don't tell her how to dress.
Let's get Guy Ritchie on to just slag her off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Here's
I
a
did Guy
thought.
Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie doing directing a Bond film.
He's done it already.
Ambivalent. I
I'm
don't
from Uncle.
really. I'm not a fan, but I wouldn't respond with absolute horror.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it'll be a safe pair of hands. You know what I mean? I think.
Oh, I think he'd drop. I don't think he's a Tamahori. I think he would drop some of his more flashy aspects and stylistic things. But yeah, maybe. Why not?
Matthew Vaughn.
Dennis Villeneuve.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. If you're going for more like the Craig Casino Royale kind of route, I think I would.
I'm just going for somebody with some frigging talent.
Yeah.
You know, more than anything else.
Danny Boyle?
Yeah, that would be all right. I'd be happy
Yeah,
with Danny
I'd watch
Boyle. I think they would have tried very hard to get him if they couldn't get Mendes back. I know he was in the mix at one point,
Yeah, I thought he'd be good.
but that's assuming he would want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's Bond and it's big and it's a name, we're assuming they could go to almost anyone they want. But I don't know if that's the case or not. But there you go.
I guess. Fans, send us your suggestions for future directors of Bond films.
We are available.
Yes.
We could write it.
Although
know,
it could be.
Well,
We could do it.
Well, we could, Becca. I mean, one thing's saying it'll certainly be better than the last third of Spectre, for fuck's sake.
We could probably improve upon that.
I know. It'll also be phenomenally graphic because I'm gonna insist on Final Cut.
Oh jeez. You'd have two different versions of everything.
Yeah.
Dave Bond cut.
It literally will be sex, violence.
Yeah. Yeah, not just that. A little bit of satire as well. Naked satire. Right, folks, are we calling it?
Yeah, the screen's gone back up, so I think we'll end things here. So yes, thank you guys. Should we do Twitter and Facebook and all that?
Yeah, sure. You can catch me at the Pasty Kid 1976 on Twitter.
You can find me at Cinematronics, and you can also find this podcast as well as the other podcast that was mentioned in this particular commentary at cinematronics.co.uk.
If you want to, you can find me at RV Movies, but we are also at Expect Us to Talk at Twitter, facebook.com/Expect Us to Talk, and send us an email, expectustotalk@gmail.com.
You ever thought about changing your Twitter name?
Yeah,
Chris,
I haven't done that yet.
You bring this up about every 6 episodes.
I still haven't done it
But
yet.
you always say it like it's this revolutionary new idea you've had.
I must do it. Yeah, I don't know what I changed
You
it
know
to.
what's just occurred to me? You could change your name.
Oh, you don't say. Oh, yeah. Okay, so listeners, if you've got any suggestions as to what I should change my Twitter handle to, let me know.
Don't say that.
We can't. Well, so when we say contact her at an indeterminate email at Twitter handle.
Send it by the group one, not my personal.
At wanked off, not fingers.
No, I'm not doing that. No. Not Booty McBigface.
Wanky McWankface.
Yeah, I'm not doing
At
that.
Lee Tandoori Chicken.
You tandoori chicken. Yeah, and anything that's not, copyright infringement. Oh dear.
Becca, what's next? Sign us off.
I guess you'll hear us next on our Dine of the Day commentary.
Yay!
Good night, folks.
Good night.
Bye.